Okay, hello, good morning, everyone. All right, happy Sunday to you all. Thanks for coming. I see you two appeared pretty early today. Okay, I expected to see some more lah. All right, so yes, hello, good morning. All right, let's not wait lah. Okay, let's start what we are doing today. All right, so welcome to our seminar. By the way, this is a 3-hour seminar. So you don't expect me to go 3 hours straight lah. You'll be tired to death. I will do 2 breaks in between. Okay, today we are doing 3 chapters. We are revising for 3 chapters. So 1 hour for each chapter, and at the end of every hour, I will do a 5-minute break. Go and eat something or go and walk around, make yourself awake. So keep your candies or whatever sugar sauce with you, okay, nearby you. Okay, because today it's gonna be a heavy lesson. Okay, keep your sugar with you, very important. Later you have low blood sugar, you'll get very tired. All right, so anyway, let's start with our Form 2, Chapter 2. Okay, I hope you have your seminar notes with you. All right, hello, good morning. As I was saying, we are at the first page of our seminar notes. Okay, so this is a very compact note, and I'll try to finish 1 chapter in 1 hour if I can. All right, so without further ado, let's begin. Form 2, Chapter 2. Okay, our ecosystem. And let's look at what is all these. Okay, number 1, what is producer? In BM, this is called pengeluar. Okay, so what is producer? It's any green plant lah. Okay, because they are the only thing that can produce stuff. They are the only one that can do photosynthesis. Okay, photosynthesis is producing something, so they are called producer. Okay, so photosynthesis, basically green plants, not plants, it's green plant. Okay, if they are not green, they are not producer because, well, for obvious reason. All right, and then the first guy who eats this, it's gonna be the primary consumer, pengguna primer. Okay, so why do we call you a consumer? Because you consume someone, you gunakan someone, so you're a consumer. Okay, so it feeds on the producer. Okay, usually they are herbivore or they are omnivore. Mostly herbivores because they eat plants. All right, and then you have your secondary consumer, tertiary consumer. Okay, feed on the primary consumer, feed on the secondary consumer. Okay, omnivore, carnivore. Usually here they are your carnivore. You might say, sir, why there's no quaternary consumer? Why there's no the 4th guy? Okay, here's the thing. You see, why the 4th guy doesn't exist is when the food chain gets too big, when the food chain gets too high, there's not enough energy to sustain the 4th guy. Okay, quaternary consumer, they exist, but only in a certain food chain. Okay, because the higher you go, there's less energy up there, they cannot sustain. All right, so your decomposer, this is your pengurai. This thing will break you down when you die. Okay, so for example, your bacteria and all. So mostly they are your bacteria and fungi. They will do something, they are mostly saprophyte. Saprophyte means living on dead organism. Let's say when you die, your body decompose. Those bacteria are what we call saprophyte. They feed on something dead like you. Okay, so your bread mold, okay, let's say your bread has been around for 3 weeks, this thing starts to grow some mold, that's a saprophyte because bread is dead. Okay, bread is not living stuff. So next one, you should know what's your food chain and food web. Okay, rantai makanan and siratan makanan. Okay, it shows the feeding relationship. Okay, and you need to know the energy flow and food web. Everything start with the consumer, with the producer, and energy flow to the first primary consumer, the secondary consumer, and the tertiary consumer. So energy flows up. As I said, you don't see a 4th guy here, you don't see a quaternary consumer here, because if by the time energy goes to here, there will be nothing left. Okay, so this is usually what we call the apex predator. Okay, because usually at the 3rd layer here, the tertiary consumer, they're usually very strong. Okay, they're usually very strong. So you might say, sir, why is there no fourth guy here? Let me ask you, who is stronger than snake? Okay, maybe that's the eagle. Then who eats the eagle? Okay, you must have some giant monster that eats the eagle. Because it doesn't exist. It will be so scary. Okay. Yes, Kai Xin, good morning. So yeah, there you go. That's why you only have 4 layers here. Okay, so that's the energy flow. So all energy originates from the sun. If the sun were to stop shining today, all the food chain will die. This is how they predicted. They predict the dinosaurs extinct lah. Okay, one of the prediction. So green plants convert light energy from sun into chemical energy. So all these are chemical energy. Okay, when you eat food, food is chemical energy. When we consume something, it's all chemical energy. So chemical energy is called transferred to primary consumer, then to secondary, secondary, and tertiary, tertiary. Some energy is used by an organism to move and carry life processes like respiration. Okay, energy is lost in the form of heat and chemical energy, undigested food or feces. Okay, here's the thing. This one you don't learn it here, but next time when you go biology, you will learn only 10% is passed on to the next level. Okay, that's very little energy. So another level, another 10%, another level, another 10%. So by the time you reach the snake, there's only like 0.00001 left. So there's not much energy left. That's why you don't have the fourth level. Okay, because it's not very, not very possible. All right. So I'm not going to spend too much time here. Your food chain and food web, you have really learned this in primary school. You don't get this wrong in exam, please. Some people still do. All right, anyway, your nitrogen, your carbon cycle, and your oxygen cycle. I'm not going to go too much into this because you have learned this in Form 1, Form 2, and Form 3. Okay, bloody hell, you've touched this so many times already. Okay, so how do you get carbon dioxide in the atmosphere? You have 3 methods. Okay, you get it either by respiration, okay, or decomposition. Okay, decomposition, and there's another way which is combustion, but it's not shown here lah. Okay, so 3 methods to give carbon dioxide to the air, which is respiration, combustion, and decomposition. But there's only one way to convert this carbon dioxide back into oxygen. That is photosynthesis. Okay, so you see this is a very off-balance cycle. You have one changing carbon dioxide into oxygen, but you have 3 changing oxygen into carbon dioxide. This is why the world is off balance now. This is why we have pollution now, lah, because we are cutting down more trees and we are having more humans. When we have more humans, we do more respiration and more combustion, because we burn more fossil fuel. That's why we have pollution law. Okay, so read this yourself. I'm not going to go too much into this. Water cycle, I'm not going to go into this even. You just need to know what is transpiration. You just learned this year. Transpiration is when plants, they lose water to surrounding. When they open their stoma to do photosynthesis, they lose water. Basically, that's the sweating of plant. When plant, they lose water when they sweat. It's called transpiration. Okay, so read this yourself. And then next one, all these human activity pollution stuff, you have already learned this in Form 1, Form 2, Form 3, in both science and geography. You don't tell me you don't know this. So read this yourself. Okay, burning of fossil fuel, deforestation, okay, usage of water, blah, blah, blah. Okay, how do you solve this problem? Blah, blah, blah. All right, so let's go to the next part. This is very important. You need to know what are all these words. Okay, let me quickly go into this. Habitat is where someone lives. Okay, where an organism lives is a habitat. Okay, so our Malaysia tropical rainforest is a habitat for many species. Okay, like orang-utan, sun bear, tape, Malayan tiger. So what is species? Species is a group of organisms, okay, with the same characteristic. Okay, and when you have a group of species together, you get population, okay, populasi. When you have different populations together, you get a community. When you include non-living stuff like water, soil, and so on, you get an ecosystem. You really know this. All right, so we need to have a balanced ecosystem. All right, and then while all these adaptation, you can never learn it all because there's so many adaptation of different animals. Okay, there's a certain examples here. Don't focus on this. This is not important. Okay, so I'm going to skip ahead. All right, next one. This is super important. Okay, I'll put a star here. Okay, this thing most likely is gonna come in exam because it's very, very common. So there are three types of interaction. Okay, number one is prey predator, mangsa per mangsa. When you have a weaker guy and a stronger guy, the stronger guy will eat the weaker guy. That is prey predator lah. Okay, so prey is the weaker one, okay, mangsa, and predator is the stronger one, which is for mangsa. So you should know their characteristics. Okay, prey they usually have monocular eyesight. You know what is this? They don't have sharp teeth, they don't have sharp claw, they run very fast, they have very sensitive hearing. Whereas predator is the opposite. They have very strong eyes, strong eyesight also. They have very powerful jaw, very powerful claw. They have stereoscopic eyesight. They have powerful muscle to run. Okay, catch prey. Usually you have more prey than predator. That's the balance of nature. You cannot have more tiger than deer because that wouldn't make any sense. All right, so next, the second interaction is competition. When you have two strong, equally strong guys, now they will compete. So that's a competition. And so many examples here. You have trees and trees, lion and lion. Even lions and tigers, they will compete. Different species, they will also compete if they are the same strength. All right, so next one, this is your symbiosis. So you have three symbiosis here. So symbiosis is when two guys living together, but they are not these two. Okay, sorry, they are not competition of prey predator. So they are these three. We call it symbiosis. It's either they are commensalism, mutualism, or parasitism. So I'm gonna put symbols here. Commensalism is plus no change. Okay, what is plus no change? One guy gets advantage, the other not affected. So this one you need to memorize example, very important, which is your shark and remora fish. So behind the shark, there are all these fish following around. They just eat the leftover from the shark because when shark they eat, okay, because they have big mouth, all the leftover food will flow behind, so they will eat it long. So the remora fish is getting food, but they are not losing anything because, sorry, the shark is not losing anything because the shark cannot eat the leftover also. The shark doesn't mind, so they will just leave it behind for the remora fish lor. Okay, so a lot of students will ask me, sir, then why doesn't the shark turn around and eat this remora fish? Okay, first of all, it is very hard for a big shark to chase this small remora fish because they're very agile, they're very quick, and it's not worth it. Might as well the shark go and look for other more, uh, valuable food rather than chasing this remora fish around. So they won't. Okay, they will just probably let the guy there. This staghorn fern and tall trees, the fern will grow in between the tree trunks to get sunlight, and then the tree is not losing anything. Okay, the staghorn fern just get sunlight from that. They are not sucking nutrient from the tree. So this is one advantage, one no change. Okay, mutualism is when plus plus both get advantage. Your clownfish and sea animal, lichen and the minor birds and buffalo. Clownfish will clean the dirt away from the. It's actually not animal lah. It's actually coral lah. Okay, coral. Not animal. Animal one is the other one. This is also mutualism. That's your hermit crab and sea animal. This one is another example. So whenever you see hermit crab, there will be a very flowery looking thing going on it. That's the sea animal. So it serves as a protection for the hermit crab, and then hermit crab will carry this guy around. So they are benefiting each other. So same thing goes with the clownfish and the coral. Clownfish will clean away the dirt from the coral by eating it, and then the coral will provide protection for the clownfish. So clownfish will usually live nearby coral. It's their habitat. If you destroy it, then the clownfish will die. Okay, so lichen is the same thing. Lichen is basically algae and fungi stick together. So the alga will do photosynthesis and give nutrient to the fungi. Fungi will break down dead substance and give nutrient to the lichen. So I see it's like a mutualism thing. So minor bird and the buffalo, I just find this thing so cute. So birds will stand on the buffalo and eat their ticks away. And then the buffalo will just serve as a free transport for them. So it's like I help you, you help me. Okay. So anyway, next one is your parasitism. This one is 1 plus 1 minus lah. One guy gets the advantage, one guy will lose something. You know this lah. So that's your flea or lice, your kutu sucks on you. Okay, so you lose nutrient, they gain nutrient, and of course tapeworm. Okay, this is a thing that grows in you if you like to eat raw food. Okay, for the love of God, do not eat raw food. Okay, I don't get the reason. Okay, unless you're eating salmon or beef, then that's another story. I don't get why people will eat raw food. We went through millions of years of evolution. Our ancestors invented fire for a reason. Why would you go backward and cook your food? Don't cook your food and eat raw food. That's just a stupid thing to do. And this is how you get tapeworm. Okay, unless you're trying to lose weight lah. This is one of the method to lose weight is by swallowing tapeworm. Okay, I wouldn't. Okay, unless you have a death wish or something. What the hell would you? Okay, humans are devolving. Yeah, exactly. I agree. Okay, like some people they eat raw eggs. This puzzles me. Like some people they think drinking raw egg is manly. No, it's not. It's not manly. For the love of God, you cook your egg lah. Okay, hey, do you know cooked egg is easier to digest? Okay, yes, they are solid form, but they're easier to digest. Okay, don't be stupid. Okay, anyway, and COVID from pets, yeah, exactly. Don't know lah. Humans will do all kinds of stupid shit. Okay, anyway, so biological control is when we use food chain or food web to control some pests. Okay, so for example, if you have certain living organism in your farm, you will put that predator there to eat them away. So if you have rats in your oil palm farm, so you put snakes there. So this is why never ever simply go into some farms, especially those oil palm plantation, they have snakes around there. All right, so the advantage is, okay, it is specific. Okay, they will only target that prey. It's not polluting the environment. Okay, low cost. Pests cannot build resistance because if you use pesticides, certain pests they can be resistant to it. Okay, it does not affect our health. But here's the thing: disadvantage is it's difficult to get suitable predator. Sorry, there's a typo here. You cannot just get a certain predator. Like you see, if you are eating rat, if you are putting snake inside there, snake, they don't just eat rat, they will eat other stuff as well. They will eat they will harm the foxes there, they will harm other organisms as well. So it's very hard for you to just get one predator, that specific predator for the pest. Okay, so if you choose the wrong one, you will kill other useful organisms. And of course, it takes a long time. If we introduce a new species to a new system, it may disrupt the balance of ecosystem. Our nature's ecosystem exists there for a reason. If we simply change it, you're just going to affect everything. All right, so what affects your population? Of course, diseases, food source, prey predator, and the change of weather. Okay, here's the thing, population will go up and down as time goes on. Okay, they will not just stay constant. Okay, number will go up and down, okay, throughout season and year by year. Okay, yes, hello, good morning. All right, so anyway, change the ecosystem, limited water supply, migration, change the population size. This is kind of common sense. And of course, the human activity one, read this yourself lah. Okay, hey, all this pollution stuff, all this greenhouse effect stuff, you have already learned this in geography, you have already learned this in science, like plenty of times. No, we're not gonna repeat. Okay, and then your steps to conserve environment. Okay, you already know this. Let it read yourself. Okay, now instead of 3R, we have 5R. Okay, refuse, reduce, reuse, recycle, repurpose. Call it whatever you want lah. Okay, you're not doing it. Okay, you're doing it. If anything, this 3R or 5R, whatever 10R you want to put it, we suck at it. Okay, we suck at it. Okay, you know why we don't okay, here's the thing. Do you know recycling plastic is a waste of time? Okay, you go and purposefully sort out the plastic and go and recycle. You know what is the factory gonna do? They're just gonna burn it. They're not gonna recycle. You know why? Because recycling plastic, number one, is gonna make the plastic weaker. Number two, recycled plastic, recycling plastic is a very expensive process. It's not earning any money, it's making the material weaker. Nobody will care about it. Okay, it's just that those big company, because the scientists say, wow, pollution very serious, then all the big companies, they couldn't care less. They just want to make you feel guilty. Why you don't recycle? Why you so bad? Then you say, huh, I really so bad leh, so you go and recycle lor. Then all the big companies, they get away from it. They don't care. They just don't care. Because if I'm running a company, okay, would I spend twice the amount to use recycled plastic? No. Why am I so stupid? Why am I wasting the extra money? I'm just gonna use new plastic. Okay, I'm just gonna create more rubbish. Okay, you are the end user. That's your problem. See, humans were terrible at this. All right. So anyway, let's go to our exercise. Okay. I'm gonna try to do more exercise today, lah, instead of doing more notes. All right. So let's look at our exercise at page 2. Okay. I'm gonna jump around, Yeah, I'm gonna jump around, So, okay. I'll take rest in between, as I say, for those who just came in, I will take rest in between. I'll finish 1 hour and take a rest, 1 hour and take a rest, and so on. All right, so this is a food web. As you can see, this is a maze, okay, grasshopper, okay, caterpillar, and of course, followed by your sparrow and eagle. So A, the maize plant is a producer. Yes, it is. Okay, B, the eagle is eaten by the sparrow. Wow, it will be a sight if the eagle is eaten by the sparrow. Okay, so C, a food web is combination of food chain. Yes, it is. And then number D, the transfer of energy occurs from the grasshopper to the maize plant. Okay. Oh, okay, so this is wrong. Okay, should be pretty common sense. So control of food chain, you don't need to tell you this to why. So vegetable followed by caterpillar and then followed by chicken and snake. Okay, I'm just gonna write the answer straight lah. I'm just trying to save time. All right, so B, match the following organism. Paddy plant is a producer, and the grasshopper is a consumer. Okay, so A, type of interaction. Tapeworm and human intestine. Okay, definitely this is your parasitism. Okay, in case you're very paranoid whether you got tapeworm or not, okay, very easy one. If you got tapeworm, you wouldn't be normal already. You would lose weight like crazy. Okay, so chances are you will shit it out if it's too big. Okay, because I think I told you this before. There was this guy, quick side story. There was this guy, he went sushi. Okay, a few months later, you know what he did, He basically shitted out the tapeworm. Okay, this makes me paranoid for sushi already. Okay, he basically shitted it out. Okay, 32 feet. Okay, you know how long is 32 feet? That's a 9 meter, Imagine you shit out a 9 meter worm like 3 months after you had sushi. Freaking disgusting. Okay, anyway, so hopefully you don't get, I mean, very low chances you'll get tapeworm. Okay, but it's not zero though. Okay, so a deer and lion, that's your predator. Okay, answer the answer. All right, so D, one, mark on the factors that are affecting population size. Okay, drought, yes. Okay, if you have drought, plants are going to die. Food source, yes. If there's less food, population will increase. Competition, yes. If there's more competition. Okay, wait, I think competition is not. Competition is not. Because if there's less species, there will be less competition. More species means more competition. They will kind of keep the number same. Okay, competition is like one of the way to regulate your species so that they don't go out of hand. Okay, competition is good. Competition is good for an ecosystem because when you have more competition, the number will go down. It controls the species. Okay, so why do we have so many humans around? Because we don't have competition already. Okay, not to say don't have lah, but between humans, there's less competition now compared to last time when we were hunters. So that's why human population increased very quickly. Okay, so number 4. So what is a community? It's a few different population together. Okay, different population living in a habitat. Okay, the keyword is different populations of species now. If you want to be really complete. Okay, so for BM is populasi berlainan. Okay, hidup pada satu habitat. The keyword here is different population, populasi berlainan. Okay, or wait, I shouldn't say different, right? I should say a few, right? Oh, sorry, a few population. Should be beberapa populasi, not populasi berlainan. Beberapa populasi. All right, so construct a food web. I'm just going to give you the answer here straight. Okay, for quick. So you start with grass, then you have your grasshopper, caterpillar, frog, and then you have your cockroach. Cockroach is basically, chicken lah, a male chicken, snake. All right, so this is a food web. Technically it is, although it's very simple. So draw a pyramid of numbers. Okay, what is pyramid of number? Pyramid of number, it shows the number of population. So you have a pyramid like this. Okay, so you have grass here, you have grasshopper here, your frog here, and your snake here. As you can see, the higher they go, the number will decrease. Okay, the number will decrease. You have very little snake, a few snakes, but you have many grass because that's the user. So you cannot have less grass and more grasshopper here because the grass will go extinct. And then the pyramid is like upside down already. It's not in balance already. Okay, so that's your balance of nature. That's why you don't simply go and kacau a food chain or ecosystem because it will affect the whole thing. This whole thing will just go out of whack. That is something that we are very good at lah. Okay, humans are very good at screwing up the environment. Okay, so C. Okay, if I'm good, if I'm too fast, you need the answer. You let me know. I will scroll back and leave copy. So Mr. C's oil palm plantation is attacked by a type of pest known as rhinoceros beetle. Okay, this is the big beetle. Okay, see some beetles are for you it might not be a pest, but for some people they are. For plant tree definitely is, which cause the base of the fronts of the palm to be perforated, means got holes. They make the leaves got holes, and the young shoot that develop to break. So he's losing money. So therefore, the owner of oil palm plantation tried how to overcome the problem by supplying fungus to the oil palm plantation. There's a certain type of fungus, like a disease, that will spread around. Hopefully, can kill this rhinoceros beetle. So the rhinoceros beetle and fungus before and after supply oil palm plantation. So as you can see, before the treatment, after the treatment, oh, this is working very well. So the fungus is getting more, beetle is getting less, the oil palm is getting more. This is what we want. So based on 8.2, state the change in population. Okay, so you can say the population of oil palm increase, or the rhinoceros beetle decrease. Okay, you can even say the fungus. Don't bother lah, the name is too long. Okay, so kelapa sawit, populasi kelapa sawit meningkat, populasi kumbang badak menurun. Hey, I'm not writing the full answer. You write this yourself, as long as you understand. Okay, let's not waste time. So number 2, explain how the method used has given positive result to the owner of the plantation and the environment. So you can say for the owner, so you can say more oil palm trees. Okay, or you can say less palm tree destroyed. Okay, lebih kurang pokok kelapa sawit musnahkan. Okay, so what happens? No, so now you have more food, okay, more oil palm fruit, and this turns into more yield. What is yield? Yield is hasil. Yield is a word that they will use a lot in plantation. How's the yield this year? Okay, that's the hasil tanaman. Next year, when you go biology, or especially when you're studying about plants, oh, you see this word a lot. Okay, it's everywhere. So I'm giving a bit long answer because it's 4 marks here, so that means we need 2 marks for each question. So what is it good for the environment? Okay, it reduces pollution. Okay, mengurangkan pencemaran. Okay, I'm just gonna write the keyword for PM. What about the other one? Okay, you can see it does not affect others. Okay, does not affect other species. They will only target this rhinoceros beetle. That's why you see and this biological control you need many research to make it work. You don't just simply, oh, your farm got this then I show you this. You don't say, oh, your farm got a lot of rats, right? Then I just throw a bunch of snakes there. What if the snake goes out and harm other people? Okay, you don't simply do this. All right, so tidak mempengaruhi species lain. Right? That's why, okay, guys, you don't simply release certain pets into the wild. Okay, this is something so stupid that I cannot bring it. Some people they say, oh, I am letting animals out into their habitat. How do you know that's their habitat? You know, this is actually what happened. Few decades ago, they actually did this in Australia. They bought rabbits, okay, because rabbit is not native to Australia. So because of this, there's no predator in Australia that can eat rabbit. So what happened is some of them, some stupid, okay, dumb people, they're going to release this rabbit into the wild. Since there's no predator there, right? There's nothing that can eat rabbit, right? What happened? Rabbit, they reproduce like crazy. Just in case you don't know, rabbits, they are rodents. They're like rats. Once they reproduce, there's no stop to it. So within a few years, rabbits increase in the numbers of millions. Nothing is stopping them, nothing is eating them. So what they do, they just reproduce like crazy though. So you might say, good sir, so many rabbits, they're cute. Yeah, they're not so cute once they're in your plantation. They will eat away all your plants. Okay, so what they have to do is they have to kill like millions of them. You see, that's the reason you don't simply, this animal is so cute, I think it belongs to a jungle. Okay, go, my child, get your freedom. Please don't be stupid. Okay, this is how they created an ecological and an ecosystem crisis over there in Australia, just simply by not thinking. You might think it's harmless, but no, it is not, definitely. All right, so number 5, okay, this is an ecosystem, okay. Oh, I remember this stupid diagram because it's very blurry. Okay, so name the ecosystem above. Okay, this is a pond, I guess. This is a pond to me. Okay, so the relationship between snail and duck, prey predator. Okay, monster per monster. Big fish and stork. Big fish and stork, as you can see, they're both eating the same thing. So there's definitely a competition. Okay, this in DM is called persaingan. Okay, they're fighting for the same fish, the same species. So sea state, what will happen to the stock population if the water pollution due to poison in the area? So if the lake is poisoned, fish will die. Okay, number will decrease and the stock will decrease as well. Okay, so decrease. Okay, sorry for the terrible handwriting. I'm just trying to speed it up here. Okay, menurun. Why? Because number of fish decrease. Okay, or fish population decrease. Right, so you can say food source of food decrease for the stock. Right, so D build two food chain based on the ecosystem above. Okay, I'm just gonna give you the answer. So it's start with seaweed. Okay, here's the thing, they usually won't give you a diagram like this and ask you to name because sometimes you can't even name this. Like, what is this? Some people know it's seaweed, but some people they don't know. So usually they will give you the name here. They won't just give you picture. This is a very irregular question. Okay, so it's eaten by small fish. Okay, silly now there's a species called small fish. They've eaten by a stork, eaten by a snake. Okay, so grass, followed by grasshopper, followed by frog, followed by snake. Okay, please finish your food chain. You don't name a food chain by stopping halfway. Okay, you stop. Usually the top is the apex predator. Okay, as I said, what is an apex predator? In an ecosystem, if this guy, nothing hunts on them, nothing eats them, they have no predator, they are the apex predator. Like for example, lion. Who eats lion? Nobody eats lion. So they're the apex predator. Okay, so human is the apex predator because basically we eat everything. Okay, you go to China, you understand what I mean. Okay, basically, that's what the Chinese say. As long as the animal has the back facing the sky, okay, you can eat it. Okay, you name it lah, what civet lah, fox lah, pangolin lah, anything. Okay, platypus lah, you name it. Okay, this is your imagination. You want something in China, you request, they will go hunt it for you. Okay, if chicken and mutton or beef or whatever gets boring, then you may eat some other thing. This is how we get the disease law. Okay, so next, the diagram below represents different organisms in the pond system. Okay, so they are using shape to represent here. Which letter represents species belonging to the pond ecosystem? Okay, that will be your ABCD, I guess. Okay, because this is one species A, one species B, C, D, and D. Okay, you want to write E, F, G, H also can, because why is there two letters here? I don't understand this question. Okay, so which letter represents? Oh, okay, the population. Okay, now I understand. Okay, population should be this E, F, G, H here. Okay, should be this lah. Because species, I believe, is pointing to one. Population is the whole thing, the same species. So which is the pond community? This is the community, like all the species inside. All right, so H, a pond ecosystem is a combination of the pond community and J. What is represented by J? So what makes ecosystem? We have community and you plus other non-living stuff. Okay, so you can say environmental factor. Okay, faktor persekitaran. So you have your example you have your water, the air, sunlight, cahaya matahari, and so on. All the non-living stuff, soil, stone, air. Yeah, basically that's it. Okay, so non-living stuff plus living stuff, you get an ecosystem. All right, so next, number 6. Whoa, what is this? Okay, 3 organism PQR that lives in a paddy field. Can't they just put numbers? What the hell? Okay, so state the number. Okay, I'm not gonna count. Okay, I'll just give you the answer straight. This is 46, this is 17, this is 15. Okay, go count yourself. I'll see whether it's correct. Funny looking question. This is mathematics already. Okay, so write the organism for the trophic. Okay, what is trophic level? Trophic level means the producer, primary consumer, secondary consumer, the levels in your ecosystem. So producer should be P, okay, because you look at the numbers, you will know. And then secondary consumer will be R. Okay, so Q will be your primary. This is a bit funny because usually even primary and secondary, there will be a large number gap. Okay, 17 and 15 is very close. So usually it's not like this. This one should be like 20 something. Here it should be a gap. This is too close. All right, so next B. So this is the energy flow from one traffic level to the next. It's a very different. Okay, so anyway, as I said, you see, loses 90% of the energy. Only 10% goes to the next level. Okay, so state two processes in human body that causes loss of energy. Okay, how do you lose? Okay, if today I were to eat you, okay, I hope it doesn't come to that day. If I were to eat you, do I get all the energy from you? No, because some of the energy you already use it for what leh? Respiration or okay, you need to generate heat what? Okay, respirasi. You can also say movement, okay, pergerakan, defecation, okay, you shit what? So inside your shit got energy also. So I'm only getting 10. If I were to eat you, I only get 10% of energy from you. So imagine if the sun gives us 1 million joule, okay, the plant only gets 100,000 leh, 10% only what? And then the rabbit only gets 10,000. The fox only gets 100, 1,000. Okay, if there's someone that eats the fox, let's say a tiger, okay, let's say lah, the tiger only gets 100, you know. Okay, this is why I said you don't have the fourth level. Who eats tiger? I mean, if there is, let's say there's a T-Rex here, T-Rex is only getting 10, you think T-Rex can survive, man? No. So only 10% passes to the next level. That's why you don't have 4 levels in the food chain, because it's not possible to sustain. Okay, there are instances, okay, but very rare. So number 2, they're asking for already. The grass contains 2,900 kilojoule. Calculate the total energy received by the rabbit. So the rabbit is only going to get 10%. Okay, very little. So pyramid of number, energy pyramid is not number, the same thing. So you have your grass, you have the rabbit, and you have the fox. Please don't put sunlight here. Okay, sunlight is from here. Okay, no need lah. Okay, don't need to write sunlight because they just want a pyramid for number. So C, name the type of relationship between rabbit and fox in the food chain. So definitely prey predator. So write PP here. So mangsa per mangsa. Okay, give one another example. So there's so many lah. Okay, like I said, deer and tiger. Okay, rusa dan harimau. Okay, sad thing about our Malayan tiger, okay, I was just telling this to my phone too the other day. Currently there are less than 200 Malayan tiger in the wild in Malaysia. Okay, Malaysia is the only place that's Malayan tiger. So there are less than 200 in the wild now. So according to many researchers, they say in 5 years it will go extinct. Our Malayan tiger will be extinct soon because whatever our government is doing to protect them is not enough. Okay, don't you find it funny? Because Malayan tiger is our Malaysian symbol. Okay, our Jata Negara has 2 Malayan tiger on it. Our national football team is called Harimau Malaya. Now it's extinct. So ironic. Okay, we are not doing anything to save them, unfortunately. All right, so next one is a food web. There's so many food web questions. So why is vegetable a producer? Okay, because they produce food. Okay, via photosynthesis. Hasilkan makanan melalui photosynthesis. Why not force it to reproduce? Here's the thing: if sometimes it's either they don't want to reproduce, or number 2, you reproduce them, it's very hard to release them back into the wild because they will not adapt to the environment. Or number 3, there's a lack of funding. Okay, you see these are just excuses lah. You see how China managed to reproduce panda. Okay, panda used to be one of the endangered one. Now, panda is not even endangered anymore. China has reproduced so many of them. China is off the endangered animal list. Okay, because in China, whatever money that is, okay, yes, they are very, uh, strict government. Okay, not everyone likes China, but you have to give them credit that when they do something, they do it properly. If the government takes out money to do something, all money will go to that purpose. Whereas in Malaysia, okay, the government says, okay, I will give 50 million to reproduce the tiger. At the end, only 5 billion make it there. So where's the other 45? Oops, nobody knows. Okay, go to this hand, go to that hand, you take some, I take some, and then no more already lah. Okay, 7A1, can I say because they produce food? Yeah, sure, sure. I mean, if you don't write rules and this is fine too. So number two, state the type of interaction between rabbit and flea. So that's your parasitism. Okay, parasitism. So this is called parasitisma in Indian, which is another E here. So number three, predict two effects that will happen if all snakes die. Okay, if all snakes were to die, so what will happen? Of course, rabbit will be very happy. Rabbit will increase. Yeah, I'm not gonna write the answer here. You write it yourself. Rabbit will increase, or the chicken will decrease. Okay, what else can you say? The immediate one is this two lah. Okay, if they ask you this in exam, you write the immediate one. So at the end, what will happen? When you increase so many rabbit, the vegetable will decrease. Okay, when vegetable decrease, grasshopper will decrease. And as vegetable decrease, sooner or later, rabbit has no more food to eat. Rabbit will decrease as well. And chicken will at the end decrease until there's no more. So the whole food chain, the whole food web will be destroyed. See why is this so important? Because you see, in every food web, they rely on each other. You cannot just simply take one away. You're going to throw everything off balance. All right, so number three, predict two. Wait, done already. So B, so this is a fish and shark and moral fish. This is your commensalism. Okay, commensalisma and BN. So what is the advantage obtained by the moral fish? So he gets food scraps. Scraps. Ini bisa makanan. Okay, or the food left over, he doesn't care lah, as long as there's food. You can even say free transport. Okay, pengangkutan percuma. So if I were the shark, I will charge him, charge him rental already. Hey, dude, you're staying here, you're doing nothing. Pay me some lah. Yeah, that's what we humans do. Okay, so number three, mark another example, another sample of this interaction. So Thomas, okay, this one. Okay, this is a green plant, so they can make food themselves. This is competition. Is this? Oh, this is lichen, I think. This is a lichen. Okay, where do you see lichen? Lichen usually you see it on any place that has sunlight, like tree trunks. Sometimes even on longkang, you see like the green patch. That one is a lichen. Okay, so this is mutualism. Okay, so C. Okay, let's look at C. So this is an owl. Why do farmers rear owl? This is for biological control. Oh wait, they don't want the method. Now they want you to explain. So to control population of rats. Okay, now populasi equals. So this is called biological control. Okay, kawalan biology. Two advantage. Practice yourself. Already repeated. Okay, doesn't pollute the environment, cheaper, specific, doesn't affect other species, and so on. Okay, you refer to up there. Already repeated this already. Okay, so what is this number 8? Oh yeah, this is number 8. Just now was number, okay, whatever. Okay, so number 8, carbon cycle. So state the percentage of carbon dioxide. Hey, you learned this in Form 1 already. Carbon dioxide is 0.03%. Name process P. Okay, this is decomposition. Okay, decomposition. This is called penguraian. Decompose dead plants, dead organism. Okay, and one example of the organism, we almost missed this. There will be a bacteria, fungi. Okay, bacteria atau fungi. All right, so 7.2 shows the logging activity. Okay, what is it covering already? How does the activity interfere, I guess, the environment? Okay, how does it interfere the environment? Like I say, plant will decrease. Okay, tumbuhan menurun. Okay, so it will disrupt your carbon cycle. Okay, menjejaskan kita carbon. Disrupt is menjejaskan kita carbon. So C, state 1, other human activity which increase percentage of carbon dioxide. Okay, combustion. Combustion of what leh? Combustion of fossil fuel. Okay, pembakaran fossil fuel. This is our biggest problem right now. Okay, 80% of our energy still comes from fossil fuel. So you see, we cannot stop burning it. So they say by 2050, 2050, that means 29 years more, we have to reduce fossil fuel so much, we have to reach something called a net zero carbon. That means how much carbon we produce by burning fossil fuel, we must have enough trees to absorb them to create a net zero by 2050. Do you think this is achievable? No. Heck no, we are not achieving this. Okay, this is just some stupid goal. Okay, it's not achieving it. Humans are too selfish for it. Okay, so D, state 2 negative effect if carbon dioxide increase. Need I say more? Global warming, greenhouse effect, extreme weather. Okay, kesan rumah hijau, pemanasan global, cuaca iklim melampau, extreme drought or flood. Hey, practice yourself. So number 9, why is grass a producer? Not repeating this again. 2 effects if the birds decrease. Do this yourself. When birds decrease, okay, snake will decrease also lah. Grasshopper will increase lah. So this is lichen. That is lichen. Also name the interaction. This is mutualism. So state the role of the alga and the fungus. I'm just gonna write it here. Alga will provide food. Fungus will provide mineral and water. Okay, because alga can do photosynthesis and fungus, they can break dead stuff down, dead organism down and give mineral to the algae. So it's like a mutualism thing. So why is this interaction not used in biological control? Okay, because it doesn't control population of pests. Okay, tidak mengawal populasi what is pest again? Your racun serangga perosak. Okay, perosak. Tidak mengawal populasi perosak. Okay, they don't make some other things die. So see, snail and ducks are commonly found in paddy field. So this is your prey predator again. How do ducks reduce the population of snail? Okay, by feeding it. Okay, feeding on it. Okay, memakan sipula. So suggest one other way that can be used to reduce population of snail. You can use these. Okay, what is these in DM? Answer. You can use answer lah. Because basically they're the same thing. Okay, so let me finish this if I can. So what type of interaction? I'm just gonna give you the answer lah. I'm just gonna say it out. So interaction for K, this is parasitism, obviously. L is prey predator. So explain the effect on to the child, okay, discomfort loss, feeling sick law, diarrhea law, and so on law. Prevention step, do not eat raw food, okay, wash your hand. Okay, B, whether K is the same between remora fish and shark? No. Okay, remora fish and shark is commensalism. Okay, difference between K and L. You can say K doesn't kill the host. Okay, you are the host. If there's a parasite living inside you, you are the host. Okay, it's called peruma. It doesn't harm the host, whereas the frog kills the prey. A predator kills the prey. A good parasite will not kill you. They will make you miserable, but they will not kill you. Because if they kill you, they themselves die. So that's a stupid thing to do. So they won't. All right. So I believe I have 3 more questions, but I don't think I can discuss all. You can go home and finish this yourself. Okay, the answers will be uploaded. You can do this yourself. I have 12 questions here, I believe. Yeah, there is 12, I think. Oh no, more than that. 14, sorry. 14 questions. All right, so we can do this yourself at home. I'm gonna take a 5 minutes break for you. Okay, and we come back later. We will go into Form 2, Chapter 4. All right, so we'll come back at 10:11:03-ish. Okay, around there lah. Okay, so I'll see you later. Okay, we will go for a 5 minutes break. Hey, hello, welcome back. All right, so let's continue with our chapter 4. Okay, so just now the one was a bit boring lah, because it was the ecosystem chapter. Okay, so now let's go to Form 2, chapter 4. Hang on, my screen is not. Chapter 4. Wait, let me. Okay, so why is it black again? Okay, excuse me, let me restart my app again. Okay, better. All right, so let's look at chapter 4. This is a more interesting chapter. That's a human health. Okay, so infectious, non-infectious disease. Okay, penyakit berjangkit dan tidak berjangkit. You already know this lah. So berjangkit means it can be passed on. Usually it's infected by pathogen. What is pathogen again? Pathogen is any microorganism that makes you sick. All right, like COVID-19 is a pathogen. That's why it is an infectious disease. So non-infectious disease, it is genetic factor or lifestyle. Okay, so there are a few diseases that you need to know. How are they passed on? Okay, cholera is by water. Okay, you don't really see this disease nowadays because we chlorinated our water. Last time when they don't, okay, last time they don't chlorinate their water. So if someone were to throw shit inside your river, everyone in the village will get cholera and most likely you will die. See, it's a even simple disease like that you can die. So nowadays no more. Even if you get cholera nowadays, you just go to the hospital, they'll give you antibiotic and you'll be fine. All right. So air is by tuberculosis, H1N1, SARS is your COVID lah. Okay, SARS was in 2003. Okay, it was the family of COVID-19. They are caused by the same family of virus. Cause your flu. Every year you get flu at least maybe once. There your fever. Okay, every year you will maybe get fever, flu, cough, sore throat, and so on. Those are what we call flu. Okay, it's a seasonal thing. Okay, every year you get it once. So body contact is your ringworm and fungal, any skin disease, and vectors are your animals that carry certain pathogens, like your leptospirosis. This is carried by rats. Dengue, malaria, Zika, they are carried by your Aedes mosquito, right? So they can be transmitted. So non-infectious, they are like your long-term disease, like cancer, hypertension, diabetes, asthma, cardiovascular disease cannot be transmitted. Right? So how are infectious disease spread? Okay, so waterborne, if it is melalui air, it is usually through fecal pathogen. Fecal means shit lah. Okay, if you shit in some river, you have pathogen, you're gonna spread pathogen to the whole village. Okay, same goes to typhoid. Okay, typhoid, and of course this dysentery. You might say, sir, all these diseases I've never heard before. Then that means you're lucky lah. Consider yourself lucky lah. Last time dysentery killed like millions of people back in the mid-centuries. Okay, like few thousand something years ago, dysentery is a very serious thing. Now you don't see this anymore. Unless you're stupid enough to drink river water lor. Then of course you will get it. And of course, your vectors, this is why all these are pests, okay, bad vectors, cockroach, fly, they carry salmonella. This thing is in your raw egg. Okay, that's why if you eat raw chicken products, there's a very famous disease called salmonella poisoning. Okay, if a fly land on the food, Aedes, they carry dengue and Zika. I think you already know this. Anopheles will carry Plasmodium malariae. This is called malaria, but they will cause a disease called malaria. It's like malaria is like a serious version of dengue. Okay, they are like the African version of dengue, much more dangerous, much more deadly. Okay, so this is why Africa has many deadly diseases. Rats, they will carry leptospirosis. We call it rat urine disease. Okay, I believe you know this. All right, so symptoms are this one you don't really need to memorize them because you are not a doctor. Basically, for every symptom, you just write fever. You see, everyone also got fever one. Okay, because this is what we call flu-like symptom. You see, you tell doctor, I have fever. It can be anything. Fever can be cancer as well. Okay, whatever symptom you Google online, they also say cancer one. Okay, so don't go and Google your symptom because most likely you will end up as cancer. It's either they will tell you either you have cancer or you are pregnant. Either one. Okay, so don't Google the symptoms online. It is practically useless. Okay, so pathogen is your who caused them lah. So as you can see, most are caused by virus. Okay, that's why this one is caused by bacteria. Okay, so if you get these diseases, you can just use antibiotic because antibiotic can kill bacteria. Whereas these two, okay, here's the thing, guys. I think I told you this before. Any disease caused by virus, you cannot take antibiotic because it's not gonna work. Okay, if you get COVID-19, you don't just say, oh, I take antibiotic and I'll feel fine. No, you won't. Okay, antibiotic doesn't kill virus. Okay, so all these diseases are viruses, diseases, you just have to let your body's immune system cure itself. Okay, other than that, it won't work. All right, so next, airborne disease. Okay, they are caused by droplet or dust. Okay, either sneezing, coughing, talking, yawning, breathing, or dust in the air. This is why always wear a mask. This is why in Japan, it is a common courtesy if you have flu, you wear a mask. Malaysia, we don't care one. Okay, before this COVID, you wear mask, they will ask you, hey, what happened to you? You cancer You see, so stupid. They will just sneeze around. You get the disease. That's your problem. You see, so we don't have this awareness. Okay, you pass your disease to some other people. Don't you feel guilty? Japanese, they feel this. That's why if in Japan, it is a common courtesy to wear a mask. Okay, because you don't want to pass your nasty disease to other people. Okay, only now when COVID comes out, wow, we scared of dying. Everyone is to wear masks. Okay, let's face it, most Malaysians wear masks not because we are considerate, it is because we are scared of the fine. Okay, because it's 1,000 bucks. We are scared of that rather than helping others, okay? Because we don't care. All right, so the example of diseases, okay, your TB, okay, your flu, you get flu from your friend if he has flu, your SARS, H1N1, this is a more serious version of flu. It's called bird flu, I think. Bird flu or swine flu, there's two actually. And then of course the chicken pox, you get it from a friend as well. Okay, so how do you do? How do you prevent this? Cover your mouth or your nose. Okay, don't spit everywhere. I'm surprised I still see people spitting everywhere in Malaysia. Okay, it's like you see some uncle, they will do it on the street. Okay, so avoid being in a crowded place. This is what we call social distancing. Okay, this social distancing, I've been saying it for like 4 or 5 years already. Last time people don't care, and then oh, everyone is doing it. Okay, ensure the living place gets enough light because you have sunlight. Okay, virus will die. Okay, this is why all these diseases, they spread quicker in winter. That's why you see this COVID thing, every winter there will be a spike of cases in Western countries. Because when there's winter, there's no sun. When there's no sun, virus will spread even quicker. Right? So example, you have your through contact one is usually contact is by your skin. Okay, it's usually skin disease or sexual disease lah. We call this STD. Okay, these are what we call STD, sexually transmitted disease. If you don't wear a condom, this is how you get it. So syphilis and gonorrhea, these are STDs. So if you have sex, if you have sex with someone that has syphilis or gonorrhea, you're for sure gonna get it. Okay, this thing is caused by bacteria. You just take antibiotic, you'll be fine. Okay, it will be a very embarrassing trip to the doctor, telling the doctor what's wrong with you. Okay, and then the doctor will say, hey, naughty, don't wear condom, but he will still give you antibiotic and you'll be fine. Okay, HIV on the other hand is different story. There is no cure currently. Okay, HIV has no, okay, we don't call it HIV virus, okay, it's HIV because the V is already virus. It's like saying ATM machine. It's not ATM machine because the M is already machine. Okay, so HIV, there's currently no cure, no vaccine. If you get HIV, it is for life. Okay, so just be careful. Wear your condom. Okay, so next, mosquitoes and flies, the two most common vector. Okay, so when they bite you, they go and bite another person, and you will pass your disease to them. Okay, if you have dogs at home, you get what I mean. There is mosquito can carry heartworm. Okay, this is why dogs are, if your house has a lot of mosquito, your dog needs to eat heartgut, which is that medicine to keep the heart healthy. Okay, heartworm is a disease that can kill your dog. And of course, flies, okay, they land on pathogen, okay, they land on shit or contaminated food. And then when they land on the food, then you eat the food, you get the disease. Okay, you know what I mean. All right, so 3 stages of preventing infectious disease. Read this for your own pleasure. It's not important. Okay, primary is mostly personal. Okay, secondary is mostly others. Tertiary is mostly government. Okay, first primary is when you do it to yourself. Secondary is when you do it to others. Tertiary is when the government is doing it. So there's 3 ways of fighting a disease. Right? So nothing comes more important than personal. That's why to stop COVID, government is only tertiary. You are the primary. Okay, make sure you wear your mask, wash your hands, and practice social distancing. I'm sure this thing has been told you to death already. Okay, so next, body defense system. Okay, you have your first, second, third line. Okay, you have to know. The first 2 lines, they are non-specific. Okay, first line is physical barrier. Okay, by preventing bacteria from preventing pathogen from entering your body. So you have your skin and mucus. Skin covers from your head to your toe for a reason. Okay, they are like a barrier. Okay, so they're like a tough layer, and then they will secrete sweat and sebum. These two will kill pathogen on the skin. Okay, and is there a wound on just skin? Okay, if there's a wound, like microorganism will go inside. Okay, so mucus, all these openings, whatever openings you have on your skin, they are covered by mucus most likely. Okay, your eyes have tears lah. Your nose has mucus. Your mouth inside got mucus. Your ear got mucus. Your urinary tract inside also got got mucus. Mucus is everywhere. Okay, so mucus, they themselves, okay, mucus will kill microorganisms. Okay, so your mucous membrane, nasal hair, that is your nose hair, mucus lining your nasal cavity, earwax, tail, vaginal secretion, will kill microorganisms. All right, so that's the first one. As you can see, ears is called, yeah, the earwax. Okay, they have mucus and earwax also. Actually, there's 2. Okay, so as you can see here, these are all physical barriers, physical and chemical barriers. Okay, they are the first line to stop pathogen from coming inside. Okay, if your first line is broken, most likely you'll get sick already. Okay, so when you get sick, your second line comes into play. Your pathogen, your white blood cell will start doing phagocytosis. What is phagocytosis? Very important process. That's the process of swallowing pathogen. Okay, your white blood cell will go around swallowing the pathogen. Okay, this takes time. That's why when you get sick, it takes time for you to recover. Okay, so phagocytosis. And of course, third line is your strongest one. They will produce antibody. Okay, they themselves, okay, these are what we call lymphocyte. Lymphocyte is the strongest white blood cell in your body. Okay, they will produce antibody. They themselves, they are not like this. They will not just come and engulf. Okay, but they work differently. They use something stronger called antibody. Okay, so you have to know these 3 words. Immunity is when your body is immune to a disease. Okay, let's say you get a disease before, like let's say chicken pox, you won't get it again. You get a chicken pox immunity. Antibody is what you produce. Antigen is what is on the pathogen. Okay, you got your vaccine, right? How is the vaccine helping you to fight COVID? Because that vaccine inside already has the antigen. Okay, they purposefully, all vaccine, they work the same way. They give you the antigen, so your body will recognize that, okay, here's the thing about this lymphocyte, this very strong white blood cell. Oh, it's not drawn here. Oh, this is the pathogen, sorry. Okay, so your white blood cell, the strong one, which is called lymphocyte, they will remember every disease you've gotten before. Okay, they will remember it. They have something called memory cell. Okay, your body has many of these things called memory cell. They will stay for you. They will stay with you for life. Okay, that's why immunity is usually for lifetime. Like if you are immune to chickenpox, you are immune for it. You are immune to it for life. Okay, even if it's not for life, it will be a very long time. Okay, so this is how your vaccine works by giving you the antigen. Okay, the antigen is going to make you sick, but they will not kill you. Okay, it's sort of like a practice In case there's a fire, what happened in your school? So it's like a fire practice, like a fire drill. So they give it to you, your vaccine, your body trains how to fight it. All right, so all these vaccine, this for fun, this is not coming out. Okay, not say not coming out, but you have to, all these diseases, you won't get it anymore. Okay, all these funny diseases. Okay, you won't hear polio currently. I mean, God lah. Polio only happens to who, Either you cannot take the vaccine, you're allergic to it. Okay, poor, these people are they really poor souls. Or number two, you're a stupid anti-vax. Okay, do you know anti-vax is a thing now? You go to the US, you will see lah. People who they are very against vaccine. They say vaccine is fake lah. It's just big pharma trying to earn our money lah, so they don't take vaccine lah. Okay, so that's why many people. That's why you look at the death rate of COVID-19 in US is still very high because they refuse to take it. Okay, they believe vaccine is fake. Okay, many people believe that. You see, that's why when your country is full of stupid people, that's what happens. All right, so this immunity, I would say this is the most important part of this chapter. Okay, the quickest way to memorize this is by the example. Okay, what is natural passive? Okay, let's look at natural active first. Okay, what is natural active? Natural active is when you get the disease yourself. When you get chicken pox once, you won't get it. You won't get it anymore. You see, active, because why is it called active? Because you produce your own antibody. You are fighting the disease yourself. So it's called active. Natural because you get the disease from nature. All right. So active artificial is when you don't want to get sick, okay, because there's a chance of dying. So we go and get vaccine. Okay, so inside they got dead pathogen or they have antigen inside. Okay, anything that triggers your body to produce their own antibody. Okay, so why is it artificial? Because this is vaccine is a human-made thing. Okay, I mean, if you say, sir, I don't want vaccine, can I just get my COVID immunity by natural active? Can. Okay, probably you won't feel anything because you are young. If you get COVID today, most likely you will survive. 99% you will survive. Okay, because the death rate is only 1%. But what if you are someone old? What if you have certain diseases? Okay, like high blood pressure, there's small chance of you dying. Okay, that's why some people they need to take vaccine. Okay, you need to take it because you need to protect people like these. Okay, I'm sure at home you have your grandpa and grandma. You protect when you take vaccine, you protect them, not you, because you will be fine. Even if you get the disease, you'll be fine. All right. So passive is when you don't produce your own antibody, you get it from somewhere else. So passive natural, there's only two places. It's either breast milk or placenta. Okay, you get it from your mom when you're a baby. Okay, when you're inside her, you get it from the placenta. When you're outside, okay, she gives you breast milk. So you get the immunity from her. Okay, so they're temporary and short. Okay, whereas your active usually they last for a lifetime. This one passive is very short. Okay, so artificial is when you get your anti-serum. This is mostly your snake poison. If you get snake poison, you get the antidote. That's the anti-serum. All right, so remember these two graphs. Yeah, I'll put two stars here. Okay, so as you can see, vaccine. If you take vaccine, you see your first injection, they will be like this. Second injection, they will be higher. Okay, so you see, some vaccine, they will also start dropping one, like our COVID one. This is why they are going for the third now, which is called booster. Okay, I was saying this like 2 years back, nobody understand, nobody can relate to it. Now everyone understands. I'm sure some of your parents already took their booster. So booster is when you go for another one to increase it even higher. Because they found out that every half a year, your COVID immunity will start dropping. So that's why you need the booster. All right, so whereas for anti-serum, you see immediately when you inject, you get the protection. But as time goes on, they will drop because you don't produce your own antibody. They're just going to go out from the body. This is only for sick people. Unless you're very sick, okay, they will give you anti-serum. Okay, as long as you're healthy, you don't have the disease, but you do it as a prevention, they will give you vaccine. Okay, which is your natural active. So best way is by memorizing the example. Okay, active natural, okay, you get the disease. Active artificial, vaccine. Okay, passive natural, breast milk or placenta. Passive artificial, anti-serum. Memorize the example. That's the best way. All right, so the difference, read it yourself. Okay, I'm not going to go into this. And then what can weaken your immune system? I believe you know this. Okay, read this yourself too. All right, so let's go into our exercise again. That's a long one. Okay, let's go into it again. All right, let's look at question 1. We're at page 19 this time. All right, hang on, check the answer. Yes, that's the one. All right, so let's go to our page 19. Okay, so infectious disease, I'm just going to give you the answer here. Infectious disease is your ringworm and cholera. Okay, cancer and, okay, what is cardiovascular disease? Basically anything to do with your heart. Okay, heart attack lah, narrowing of your blood vessel lah, and so on. Okay, they are all cardiovascular disease. So pathogens enter our body and cause disease. Underline the cause. So I'm just going to give you the answer here. Swallow and digest by your enzyme. Okay, so white blood cell, they have enzyme to digest pathogen and produce antibody. So there are 2 types. Okay, next year when you go biology, you'll understand. Your white blood cell has generally divided into 2 types. Okay, you have like 5 or 6 types of white blood cell in your body. Okay, they all do different things. All right, so number 2, infectious disease, okay, leptospirosis and tuberculosis. All right, and then number 3, match the following vector. Mosquito is dengue. Okay, this one, okay, wait. Oh, this is a normal, this is a, wait, Aedes mosquito is this one. This one is dengue, sorry. It almost didn't see the color there. Fly is typhoid. This is caused by contaminated food. Rat is leptospirosis, your rat urine, and this is your malaria. Malaria, this mosquito, you can only find it in Africa mostly. In some parts of Malaysia they have, but very rare. Okay, so number 4, waterborne disease, it's your cholera and your typhoid. These 2 are airborne, you can get it just by breathing them. So for Zika is Aedes, okay, housefly is cholera. That's why they say mosquito is the most deadly insect in the world. They're responsible for 6 million deaths every year. Okay, not even joking. Okay, mosquito is freaking brutal. Okay, so number 5, this is Zika. Cockroach is typhoid. Okay, cholera is rats most likely, or flies. Okay, B. So when you see this graph, what is this? This is your anti-serum. This is a passive artificial. Okay, so this immunity is lifelong. No, false. It's not, because you see, it keeps going down. So it's not lifelong. So immunity increase when anti-serum is injected. Yes, true. Immunity is immediate. Yes, true. This thing is like an immediate thing. Vaccine needs time. That's why you see, after you take your vaccine, you need to wait like 2-3 more weeks, you take another one. And then after the second dose, you need 2 more weeks to get the fully vaccinated, the vaccination cert. Okay, because it takes time. For you to be fully vaccinated for a disease, it takes like at least a few months. Okay, that's why it's like a prevention thing, I say. So next, number 6, the following diagram shows 2 types of disease. The first one, it's your cardiovascular disease. This is non-infectious. Okay, tak berjangkit. This is infectious. Okay, berjangkit. Okay, I'm writing in short form. I'm not writing a full answer. Okay, you write the full answer yourself. What's the meaning of infectious disease? Okay, it is a disease that can be transmitted. Okay, boleh dijangkit. Oh, wait, you shouldn't use the word berjangkit because the word is really berjangkit. Boleh dipindahkan Jadi dipindahkan dari satu individu ke satu individu. It can be passed on. Okay, so number two, give two other examples of infectious disease. Write this yourself. You have so many. Okay, leptospirosis, TB, dengue, flu, and so on. So C, what is the meaning of non-infectious disease that cannot be transmitted? Okay, tidak boleh di. What's the word transfer already? My DM stuck already. Okay, tidak boleh di. I cannot think of the word. Okay, so number two, give two other examples of non-infectious disease. Again, cancer, diabetes, asthma. Write this yourself. So D, state one difference between infectious and non-infectious disease. Okay, only one difference. Oh, it's only one mark. So you can say infectious is caused by pathogen, disebabkan oleh pathogen. This is caused by genetic lifestyle. Okay, very good. So if you eat like crap, you don't exercise, and you get cardiovascular disease. Okay, and if your dad has cardiovascular disease, chances are you will have. Okay, guys, a lot of non-infectious disease, they are caused by genetic. If your dad has even do you know that even mental disease it runs in the family also? If your family has a history of depression or anxiety, most likely you will have it too. Not to say you will have it, but it's more likely for you to develop that disease. Okay, so usually if you are diagnosed with depression, the psychiatry will the psychiatry doctor will ask you to, does your dad or your grandpa have depression? Okay, most likely you will have it. Or maybe they have it, they just don't know. All right, so number 7. So this is a bar chart, shows the mortality rate. Mortality rate means death rate. So you see, cardiovascular is always the highest. Heart disease is the number 1 killer in Malaysia. In the world too. Okay, most people die because of heart attack. Cancer is 15. Okay, you see, infectious disease it's only like what? 7? You see? Oh, sorry. There's no infectious disease here. Okay, so A1 for the type of disease account for the biggest percentage, that will be a non-infectious. All right, so based on the pie chart, give a reason for your answer. So you can say what is the most, okay, there's a cardiovascular disease. So I'm going to say CVD. Okay, CVD is non-infectious. Okay, penyakit cardiovascular tidak berjangkit. Okay, and it accounts for the highest death. Okay, bertanggung jawab untuk kematian tertinggi. Okay, it accounts for the highest death, 35%. Okay, so the chances of you getting cardiovascular disease is really high. Okay, we call it CVD. Now, why is CVD so high nowadays? Because of our lifestyle and diet. You see, people don't exercise nowadays. Okay, let me ask you, do you exercise 3? Okay, don't believe in that stupid, our government says you need 3 times of exercise, 20 minutes per session. No, that is not enough. To make your heart healthy, you need to exercise 5 times per week, and every session needs to be at least 30 minutes. Okay, so do you exercise that much? Okay, if you don't, not even your parents do. Okay, because I'm sure your parents, unless they're working as labor. So if not, most likely if they work in office, most likely they don't even exercise once per week. How do you not get cardiovascular disease like that? Okay, we are all guilty of it. All right, so B, give one example of infectious disease. Okay, dengue. Malaysia is very famous for dengue one. Okay, dengue. It's called dengue fever. Okay, demam dengue. It's not just dengue. So explain how the disease stated spread, okay, by your female Aedes mosquito. Only female mosquitoes will bite. Okay, gigitan nyamuk Aedes betina. All right, so suggest two ways to prevent the spread of the disease. Okay, you can, so many things. How do you destroy mosquito? So many things lah. You can drain away stagnant water. Okay, tuangkan air bertakung. Okay, you can have guppy fish in ponds. Okay, ikan guppy dalam kolam. Eat the lava away. All right, so dengue actually shows how clean your country is lah. If Malaysia has so much dengue, that's because many places they very dirty. They have stagnant water. You see, Singapore they don't have dengue, okay, because they're very clean. Okay, littering in Singapore is a very serious crime. Okay, so that's the difference. All right, so number 8, disease can be categorized into infectious and non-infectious. So write the non-infectious, either diabetes or hypertension. High blood pressure is called hypertension lah. Okay, I'm sure some of your parents got this, right? It is very normal to have hypertension nowadays. Okay, especially if you eat very oily meal, you don't exercise, your chances of getting hypertension is even higher. All this could be due to genetic. If your dad, if he's very healthy but he still has hypertension, he eats healthily, he still has hypertension, most likely you have it too. It's a genetic thing. So diabetes is when you don't produce insulin. What is insulin? Insulin is a hormone that stores your sugar. So if you are born with lack of insulin, you will get diabetes. Now, this is called diabetes type 1. If you have insulin, but you still cannot store sugar, because you eat too much sugar, that is diabetes type 2. So that's actually 2 types there. All right, so B1, 2 infectious disease that caused by the Aedes mosquito. That will be your dengue fever, the dengue, and Zika. Okay, Zika fever. You can even say chikungunya here. Okay, there's another disease called chikungunya. It's called a yellow fever. This is also caused by mosquito. That's why I say mosquito is a very nasty, you know, it causes a lot of diseases. So how does it spread? Okay, it's by the bite of Aedes mosquito lah. Aedes yourself, gigitan, nyamuk Aedes. So 3 ways to prevent Manila, guppy fish, destroy breedings, drain away stagnant water. You can even use mosquito spray. Okay, semburan nyamuk. Or you can just say insecticide lah. Okay, which is your Ridside or whatever, the thing that sprays to kill your mosquito. Okay, so C, immunity consists of active and passive. State how each immunity is obtained. Okay, okay, active is when body produce own antibody. Okay, menghasilkan antibody sendiri. Passive is when you obtain your antibody externally. Okay, menerima antibody dari luar. This from either your mom, okay, which is natural, or from anti-serum, which is artificial. So you don't do your passive is when you don't do anything. You sit there while you're passive, but active is when you go and do something. Your body is doing something. So that is active. Right, number 9, dengue fever is a fatal infectious disease. Name the pathogen. The pathogen is the virus. It's called dengue virus. Okay, virus dengue, and the vector is called the Aedes mosquito. So do not get confused. Okay, vector is just to carry the disease. Dengue is the real virus. Okay, any one of you got dengue before? I kena before. Okay, this thing is 10% death rate. No joke. COVID is less than 1. It's already so scary. This is 10. Okay, so this is why you hear some people they die because of dengue. You will get, okay, how do you die? Because how do you die of dengue? You will get internal bleeding. Because if you get dengue before, you go and do blood tests, they will tell you your platelets is very low. Okay, you know what's a platelet? Platelet is the thing that's responsible for blood clotting. So if your platelet is very low, you will start internally bleeding. That's how you die. Okay, that's why it's called dengue hemorrhagic fever. Hemorrhagic means internal bleeding. Okay, so B, give one other example of disease spread through the same vector of dengue fever. So that's your Zika. Explain the way the disease is spread. Okay, so this is a more long question to explain. So number one, the mosquito bites an infected person. Okay, menggigit seseorang yang berjangkit, yang terjangkit. Okay, and next it bites an uninfected person. Okay, so the virus is passed to the uninfected person. Okay, so menggigit seseorang yang berjangkit, kemudiannya menggigit seseorang yang tidak berjangkit, virus dihantar ke seseorang yang tidak berjangkit. So you pass on the virus. Okay, so if you get bitten by Aedes, but the Aedes has not bitten someone infected, you will be fine. Okay, so it's like if you have unprotected sex with someone that has no STD, you won't get STD. But how do you know? Okay, it's a chance. So how do you know the Aedes is infected or not? You can never tell because virus is very small. Okay, so the best way is by killing them all. Okay, so this is rubbish thrown in town X. Right, so describe why population of rats, where the rats so cute one. Okay, increase in town X. Why the population increase? Say it is dirty. It is a habitat for rats. The habitat untuk tikus. Or you can say provide food source for the rats. You see, rubbish is a rat's favorite place because it has their food. Rats can survive on anything. Okay, they are the most omnivorous of the omnivorous. Whatever shit you give them, they also eat one. Okay, that's why, and they are very their will of survival is very strong, and not to mention that they reproduce very quickly. Okay, so don't let them go into your car. Okay, if they go into the engine bay, your car's engine, on case they're gonna start reproducing there, and the engine is gonna smell like rats. Okay, because it happened to me. This MCO didn't know that. Okay, they start going into my car and start reproducing there. Absolutely disgusting. Okay, so Town X Municipal Council conducted a campaign to prevent leptospirosis for 4 months. So what happens here? Oh, it drops from 25 to 3. Okay, so give an evaluation on the effectiveness. Is this effective? Okay, like what Pokemon says, it is super effective. Okay, very effective. It's sangat berkesan. Okay, so why is it very effective? Okay, because the cases decrease. Okay, cases decrease from 25 to 3. Okay, case menurun dari 25 ke 3. Why? Because habitat destroyed. The habitat of rats are destroyed. So their breeding ground and food source also destroyed. Okay, habitat dimusnahkan, tempat pembiakan, punca makanan turut dimusnahkan. Okay, this is tempat pembiakan. This is sumber makanan turut dimusnahkan. Right, so number 10. Okay, sorry, I'm rushing it because there's many questions here. I'm trying to finish as many as I can. So feces are the source of pathogen. Ew. If you don't wash your hand, you go and touch, after you shit, you go and touch your foot. That's how you spread the disease now. Okay, so a flood, preparing for all these are waterborne diseases, as you can see. Yeah, I don't care about the arrows lah. As long as you see water here, you know this is waterborne disease. Explain how pathogens go into our body. Okay. Pathogens, they start from feces. Okay, they start from Inja. Okay, they start from the feces here. Okay, so how does it start? You can start from here. Okay, you can say flood first. Okay, during flood, okay, vertical bungee, okay, it contaminates water source, pencemakan air. Wow, there's only 2 marks here. I don't think I need to write very long. Okay, so or you can say food is not processed well. Okay, makanan tidak diproses dengan baik. So 2 here, which is the flood. So what will this carry? This will carry either cholera. Oh, I believe the next question I was saying correct. The 2 common disease, yes, okay, your cholera and your typhoid. You can even say dysentery. Dysentery. Hey, dysentery is freaking brutal. Last time, you see those soldiers like 1500 years, okay, 15 something something, they go for war, they drink water from some river, the river is contaminated, your whole army will be down because of dysentery. Okay, like half of them will die because of dysentery, just by drinking dirty river water. Like I said, freaking brutal, not even joking. Okay, now you don't hear this thing anymore. As long as you drink from your pipe water, as long as the water is chlorinated, you don't hear all these things now. Okay, so C, name the pathogen for the disease you name in B. So cholera. Oh, this is a difficult question. Okay, this is called Vibrio cholerae bacteria. If you cannot answer this, it's okay, because they won't ask this thing in the exam. And for your typhoid is caused by Salmonella. Salmonella bacteria. Then in both cases, you get diarrhea. I mean, in 3 cases, you get diarrhea. All these you get diarrhea. So give an obvious sign or symptom that differentiate between the 2 diseases. Wait, so what differentiate between these 2? Okay, let's just go for these 2 lah. Cholera, you will get diarrhea. Okay, I don't know, it's diarrhea again. But typhoid, you mostly get fever. You still get diarrhea, but most likely it's fever. Okay, high fever is the mum thingy. This thing in Mandarin is called Fenghan. Typhoid is called Fenghan. Last time in China, they also got like outbreak of this thing. Then you get fever. Okay, so that's why I say cleanliness is very important. Okay, so number 11. So complete the diagram show relationship between antigen, antibody, pathogen, and white blood cell. So antigen is on the pathogen. Okay, here's the thing. When you see your COVID virus, see your COVID virus, they look like this, right? So this is the pathogen. This whole thing is the pathogen. This thing is the antigen. So your vaccine, they just take out this antigen, they give it to you. Okay, so that's an antigen. So they will stimulate who? Stimulate your white blood cell to produce what? To produce antibody. Then the antibody will not fight this antigen lah. Okay, your antibody will actually fight the pathogen. Okay, just kill this thing. What's the meaning of antigen? What is antigen? Antigen is something on the surface of pathogen. Okay, so you can say it is a foreign substance. You can say foreign substance that triggers the white blood cell to produce antibody. Okay, bahan asing yang merangsangkan sel darah putih untuk menghasilkan antibody. So the keyword here is a foreign substance because antigen is something that our body cannot recognize. Okay, you see, our white blood cell has they don't have eyes. They don't just see, oh, okay, I know you. Okay, I don't know you. They will just go and touch every cell, When they touch something that they don't know, that's your antigen lah. So your white blood cell will start freaking out. And then they will send signals, say, hey, everyone come. Okay, there's an infection. Then all the white blood cells will start coming. So antigen sometimes could be your allergen as well. Like me, my body is very allergic to dust. Okay, when I inhale dust, there goes, I'll start sneezing like crazy because my body recognize dust as an antigen. Then my white blood cell will start freaking out, then I will start sneezing. That is what we call allergy law. Okay, like you're allergic to peanut, you're allergic to dust, you're allergic to seafood because your white blood cells see them differently. They will say that, okay, this is antigen. I need to kill this thing. And then body starts freaking out. Okay, there's nothing you can do about it. Allergy is something really annoying. You're just somehow born with it. Okay, so what's the meaning of antibody? Okay, something that kills the. Okay, it is a substance produced by a blood cell to kill pathogen. Bahan hasilkan dari sel darah putih untuk membunuh pathogen. Alright, so D, what's the function of the first line of defense? It is a physical barrier, okay, to prevent entry. Okay, mengelakkan kemasukan pathogen. Second line is by destroying pathogen by phagocytosis. Phagocytosis is the eating, okay? It's called phagocytosis. Right, and then the third line is by destroying the pathogen by producing antibody. Okay, dengan menghasilkan antibody. So it's a different thing. Okay, think about this way. Phagocytosis is like winning by numbers. Okay, you have a lot of pathogens, so you make more white blood cells to destroy them by phagocytosis. But antibody is more like a more sophisticated, it's like a sniper approach to kill someone. Okay, this is like using numbers to kill them. This is by using sniper, using bombs. A more effective method without sacrificing anyone. So both they have their users. Okay, it's not like one is better than the other, but they function differently. Okay, both are important. All right, so state the type of blood cell. Okay, there's a white blood cell. Explain the role of your blood cells stated in C1. Okay, so what are they doing? They're eating something, right? This is called phagocytosis. Okay, phagocytosis. So this is your antibody. It's produced by lymphocyte. Lymphocyte is your strongest white blood cell, like I said. Now, what's the meaning of antigen? Again, told you this already, is a foreign substance. What is meant by body? Antibody, substance produced by a white blood cell to kill pathogen. Okay, how does the defense mechanism above are being carried out? Being carried out. Okay, so how basically means how do they function? How do they work? Okay, so they clump pathogens together. Okay, ini yang called menggumpalkan. Okay, they stick them all together. Okay, why do this? So that they are easier to be destroyed by phagocytosis. See, both are important. Now, antibodies stick them together. Now, other white blood cells can come and eat them. If not, this pathogen will just run away. Now they cannot run because they're all binded together. So now easier for all white blood cells to come and eat them away. That's how it works. So what's the purpose of clumping antibody? Okay, I show me. Oh, really what? Easier to be destroyed. Okay, same answer. Repeating this. Okay, so state one natural characteristic of the skin that's able to prevent pathogen. Okay, what makes your skin able to stop pathogen from entering? You can say it is not penetrable by water. Okay, you can say kalis air in the end. A tough layer, it will continue shedding. Okay, you will keep shedding your dead skin so that something doesn't grow on them. So D, what is the possibility that pathogens are able to enter body through skin? The possibility is if there's a wound, only if there's a wound, if there's an opening, a wound. That's why if you cut yourself, you should always try to wash the wound and let the thing heal. If not, bacteria go into it, you get infection. Okay, jika terdapat pembukaan atau luka. Alright, so I can't discuss all. There's 3 more questions, I believe. You can go home and do this yourself. Okay, I'll post the answer into the group. Okay, after we finish our seminar. Alright, again, we'll take our 5 minutes break. We'll come back at 12:03 and we'll go into our Form 3 Chapter 1. Alright, so see you later. Okay, hello, welcome back. Right, let's this is happening again. All right, so let us continue with our form 3. Okay, chapter 1. Oh, this is a big chapter. It's gonna take a while. Okay, I'll try to go as brief as I can because we don't have a lot of time. So let's start with our nervous system. Okay, you have your central nervous system, system saraf pusat, and your peripheral nervous system. As you know, central is the important one. Pusat, they are your brain and your spinal cord. Your brain controls your voluntary action. As mentioned here, your spinal cord and your medulla oblongata, which is the whole thing of your spinal cord, is to control involuntary action. Okay, so medulla will control the less important one. How to say less important, less urgent. Okay, like your heartbeat, breathing, peristalsis. Whereas your spinal cord will control your reflex. This is very important to let you avoid danger. When you touch something sharp, something hot, as long as something painful, you will withdraw your whatever away. So that's your reflex. Okay, this is to avoid danger. Okay, and then your peripheral, this is the less important one. They're like the branches of your main root, your cranial nerve and the spinal nerve. Okay, you break one of them. Okay, you will just not feel a certain part, but you certainly will not die. But if you damage your central, then you could be paralyzed for life or you could die. All right, so the pathway is you start with, okay, there are actually 5 or 7 things. Okay, depends on if you want to put nerve. Okay, you start with stimulus. Okay, stimulus is light, okay, or your sound, whatever. It is detected by your receptor. Okay, I don't like to use a factor. I like to use the receptor. Okay, send it through your nerve to your spinal cord or your brain. Okay, basically your CNS. Okay, and then they will process the info. They will send it out by nerve impulse again to your effector. Okay, in this case, it's either muscle or gland, and then you will create a response. Okay, so 5 things in the middle. All right, so let's go to your eye first. Okay, your eye, the most important will be these 4. Okay, your cornea, your aqueous humor, your eye lens, and your vitreous humor. Okay, these 4, they are transparent, so they are like your glass. Okay, what's the function of glass? Glass is to refract light, membiaskan cahaya. So they have the same function. Okay, these 4, they have the same function. As you can see, your cornea, aqueous humor is called gerlum air, vitreous humor is called gerlum maca. Okay, and then your eye lens, kanta mata. You see, they have the same function. You see, transparent, 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 transparent. The function is to refract and focus light, refract and focus light, and to focus light again. Okay, all their function is to focus light. And of course, your pupil is the hole. They allow light to go through, controls the quantity of light. And iris will control your pupil. Don't know, you already know this. And the 3 layers of your eye is your sclera, choroid. Okay, the middle layer, choroid, is to provide nutrient to your eyes. Retina is to contain your receptor. This ligament is to hold your lens. This muscle is to control the thickness of your lens. Okay, yellow spot is the sensitive spot. Blind spot is the not sensitive spot. Optic nerve is a nerve to send it to your brain. All right, so pretty simple. You should know the pathway of your light. All right, and then let's go to your ear. Your ear has your outer ear, middle ear, and your inner ear. Your outer ear is the earlobe and the ear canal. Okay, earlobe is the linear that you can see. Okay, canal is the passageway. Okay, telinga. And then middle ear, okay, you have your eardrum, okay, which vibrates as your sound hits it. Ossicle is the 3 bone. Their function is to what again? Is to amplify the sound. Okay, menguatkan suara. Okay, menguatkan bunyi. And then oval window is this thing that pass it to the next part. Okay, this eustachian tube Eustachial, it is not responsible for hearing. They're just to keep your pressure. Okay, then they will go to your cochlea, which is inside here that has the fluid. They will change sound into nerve impulse, and then they will send it to your auditory nerve. okay, which is to your brain. Again, this part, semicircular canal, they are not responsible for hearing, they are for keeping balance. So as you can see, these two highlighted ones, they are not for hearing. Okay, it's to keep your head in balance. All right, so this is the pathway of your sound. Okay, read this yourself. Should be pretty straightforward to you. And then your sense of smell is to detect chemicals. Okay, they enter your nose, they dissolve in mucus, and they stimulate your smell receptor. Okay, so they are the same as your tongue. Okay, your food needs to dissolve in saliva, your smell needs to dissolve in mucus before you can taste or smell something. Without mucus, without saliva, you will not smell or you will not taste anything. Okay, because they function the same way. Right, so on your tongue, you have something called your taste bud. Okay, and different parts of your tongue, they are sensitive towards different smell, different taste. Okay, like sweet is at the front, okay, bitter is at the back, sour is at the side. That's why when you eat something sour, it gets painful here. Okay, salty is at the side here. I'm not saying that the sweet part can only detect sweet. They can detect other tastes as well. It's just that they are more sensitive towards sweet. All right, and then umami is the whole thing lah. Okay, umami is your MSG. Okay, when you stimulate your umami, every flavor gets stronger. Okay, so what has umami? Naturally, tomato has umami. That's why if your soup has tomato, it makes your soup taste more flavorful. Okay, tomato makes your soup saltier or sweeter. Okay, because they have the umami. All right, and then your skin has 5 receptors. Okay, they are ranked according to thickness, according to importance. The most important is your pain receptor. This is at the top, number 1, because pain is the most important feeling. Second is touch. I don't like this diagram because you see touch, pain, heat and cold is at the same level. They're actually not. Touch is higher. Cold and heat is actually lower here. Okay, because they are less important than touch. Touch is more important. Okay, heat is the one that looks like a popcorn. Okay, this diagram sucks lah, and the cold it actually looks round. Okay, and then at the most bottom you have your pressure receptor because they're the least important. Right, and then for the layers, you have your epidermis, which is the dead skin layer, dermis, which is the bottom one, and then this is your fat. The one that you can pinch is your fat. Okay, your fat layer, you can pinch it. All right, so sensitivity depends on 2 factors. Okay, it is your number of receptor. More receptor means more sensitive skin, and of course the thickness. Okay, your skin at your elbow is very thick, and it has very little receptor. That you don't really feel anything pinching here. Whereas a finger is the total opposite. Your fingertip has the most receptor, and it has the thinnest skin. That's why your fingertip is the most sensitive. All right, so daily application. Read this yourself. Okay, your braille reading. Okay, your blind reading. So on. All right, so your limitation of hearing, we can only hear from 20 to 20,000. This is sort of in Form 2. This is actually in your Form 2, Chapter 8. All right, so defective hearing. Okay, you can read this yourself. And then your limitation of your sight. Let's look at your sight problem straight away. Short-sightedness. Remember, in BM is reverse. It's called Rabun Jauh. Okay, this is Rabun Dekat. Okay, and you need to remember something. To see something far, your lens need to be thin. To see something near, your lens need to be thick. Okay, if you have short-sightedness, you can see close things very clearly. Far things you cannot see. Okay, like most of us are short-sighted. Okay, like me, I'm short-sighted. Okay, so why do you have short-sighted? Okay, you have short-sightedness because your image is in front of your retina. Okay, you cannot form it on the retina. So why? Because your eyeball is too long or your lens is too short. Oh, sorry, eye lens is too thick. Okay, as I said, when you see something near, you need thick lens. Okay, when your lens get too thick, then you see something very close, very clearly. All right, so you need to use concave lens to correct. For this part, you just need to memorize the short-sightedness. You just need to remember what's wrong with you, because most of us have short-sightedness. Long-sightedness is the complete opposite. Okay, when your lens is too thin, okay, or eyeball is too short, You need to use convex lens. Okay, and then astigmatism is when you have uneven cornea. Okay, normal perfect cornea looks like this. Your cornea maybe has a curve at this part, so your light will start scattering everywhere. So you see a few image. So this one you need your cylindrical lens. Okay, Kanta cylinder. This is Kanta Cebong. This is Kanta Cebong. This is Kanta cylinder. All right, so 3 types of lens here. Okay, so for plants, I'll just quickly go through this. Tropism is the thing that plant will grow towards. Okay, like phototropism is going towards light, geotropism is going towards gravity, hydrotropism is going towards water, thigmotropism is towards touch. So if you are growing towards this, it's called positive tropism. If you're going away, it's called negative. So shoot will show positive phototropism because shoot will grow towards light. Roots will show negative phototropism because root grows away from light. So you should know this. Okay, so read this yourself. Basically, very straightforward stuff. Okay, so the next one, also so scattered. Okay, so you have your stereoscopic vision. Okay, this is in your prey, predator. Okay, they have very large overlap of the field of vision. Okay, so you see their sight is very narrow, but they are accurate. Okay, narrow but accurate. Okay, narrow. Okay, tetapi tepat. Okay, they can see something very accurately. Whereas for prey, they are very wide. Okay, but they are not accurate because they have very small overlap here. So this is less accurate, but they are wide. Okay, because they function differently. For prey, they need to run away, so they need to scan as wide as possible. Predator, they need to catch as accurate as possible. That's why they need accurate eyesight. Okay, same thing for hearing. Stereophonic hearing means both side hearing. Okay, and then sensory organ on animals. This one just read for fun lah. Fish that lateral line, porcupine that sharp thorn, that sensitive. Snake has something called Jacobson organ. Okay, this is very sensitive to smell. This is how snake they smell their prey. Yeah, read this yourself. Okay, read this yourself. This is I wouldn't say this is important. Okay, not coming in exam most likely. Okay, so exercise again. Okay, I'm doing it very quickly because I don't want to waste time here. All right, so let's go to exercise. Should be in page. On this, okay, let's go to page 33. Okay, this is the last part already. Again, I will try to cover as many as I can because there are many questions here. Okay, so many questions here. There are like 18 questions here. 20. Wow. Okay, I'll not do plants because plant is not that important. Okay, so your drooping telinga, we'll call it pinna or earlobe. Okay, there's actually 2 names for it. And then your eardrum, ossicle, and then it will go to your oval window. Oh, I think I'll just use here lah. Okay, jingala bujo. Okay, cochlea, and then your auditory nerve. Like I said, eustachian tube, they are not responsible for hearing. They are just to keep your ear pressure. When you take a plane, when your plane takes off, you feel your ear very painful because there's a lot of pressure inside of eustachian tube. So just follow the saliva. Okay, so B shows an experiment carried by a group of students to study the property of sound. So as you know, sound can be reflected. Okay, sound can be reflected. Okay, you can use this to determine the depth of the sea. That's your ultrasound. This is how your sonar works. How bats they detect walls, okay, or the prey. Okay, so this is a human eye. So your pupil is T. S is a retina. Blind spot is here. All right, so the sequence, cornea, okay, equals humor. Next would be your pupil, which is the hole, and your eye lens, and your vitreous humor. This is called Golden Macha. Okay, retina, optic nerve, and brain. Hey, you see this one already 7 parts here. Okay, by knowing the pathway of the light, you already know like 7 parts. Okay, so who controls your pupil? That's your iris lah. So who holds your lens? That will be your suspensory ligament and your muscle. Okay, that controls the lens. Okay, you see another 3 more parts already. What else? And then on your retina, your 2 spot, you have your blind spot and your yellow spot. There's another 2 part there. Okay, you're not missing anything else. And then your retina has 2 more layer outside, which is the choroid and the sclera. That's everything already. Okay, so this eye might look very complicated, but it's not. So number 3, the first one is stereo. Okay, Y is mono. Why is astigmatism here? It's not doing anything. So what is bird X? Okay, X is obviously a predator. So this should be your owl. That's why you see owl, they have their both eyes in front of us. If you look at like pigeons, they have both their eyes at the side, like horses. Okay, so what's the advantage of bird Y? Okay, so bird Y is obviously a prey. It's a monster. So the medan penglihatan yang sempit, no, it's actually luas. So this is wrong. Dapat mengangkat jarak dengan tepat, can determine distance accurately, no. Okay, but it is able to detect predator. Okay, the main point is to see predator because that point is to run. So number 4, U is bitter. Okay, sweet is the front. Okay, very easy to memorize this. You lick your ice cream using the tip of your tongue. That's why sweet is here. Opposite of sweet is bitter. Okay, because they are opposite. That's the quick way to memorize. And then write true or false. Food that cannot dissolve in saliva cannot be detected. Yes, true. That's why you see you need your saliva. That's why when you see something you like to eat, your saliva starts coming out. It's to help you dissolve your food. So without the sense of smell, the food tastes great. No, false. It actually tastes worse because you cannot smell it. That's why the saliva doesn't come out. Okay, next number 5. Why do we inject on our arm? You took your vaccine. I'm sure you injected here because you have thick epidermis, I guess. Oh, this is. I think this is thick epidermis. Okay, because you have thicker skin on the shoulder. Okay, why do you use here to detect your temperature of the milk? Because you have a lot of receptor. Okay, same goes to this one, a lot of receptor. That's why your fingertip makes you draw the hand away. Both of these are hot. So side problem, this is blindness. The man used smell sensory organ when walking. No, false. The man used hearing while walking. Yes. Okay, that's why blind people have more sensitive hearing. The man used touch when walking. True. Okay, that's why he has a walking stick. And it is to feel whatever he's hitting. So next, number 6, classify the following into 2 groups. What is voluntary? Things that you can control. So cycling and swimming. Involuntary is things that you cannot control. Okay, next one. See, I already told you, you need to memorize this. What is P and Q? P is a receptor. You want to say a factor also can. So Q is your factor. Okay, so in this case, it's muscle and flare. Okay, effect will give you response. Okay, so candle, okay, it feels hot. What is the action shown? Okay, this is called reflex action. Okay, tindakan reflex. Okay, what is the importance? This to withdraw from danger. Okay, how do you say withdraw? Elakkan, I guess. Elakkan bahaya. So your reflex is to save your life. Okay, without thinking, you will do it one. Like if I throw a knife to your face, you will avoid the knife. For some reason, okay, you won't just think, okay, this is knife. Knife is dangerous. I better avoid, okay? It's too late. So what is the person's reaction in the above diagram? Why does the person react this way? Okay, he withdraw hand. Okay, on fire, or heat. Okay, no. Something tangan. I don't know what is withdraw call in DM. Okay, you translate yourself. Okay, sorry for that. Forgot really. Why? This is to prevent his finger from being burnt. Okay, elakkan right today. Okay, elakkan jari daripada burn. Terbakar. It's not terbakar. When you burn your finger, what is it called? There is something. Sorry, my brain is not working very well today. Or for BM. Okay, it happens. There is something. When you touch something hot, it's called damn long they use BM already. Okay, there is something. Okay, sorry. Okay, so next E. State one other example of involuntary action controlled by medulla oblongata and one controlled by spinal cord. So your medulla oblongata will control heartbeat. Okay, denyutan jantung. Okay, many lah, breathing, sneezing, coughing, swallowing, peristalsis. It's all controlled by medulla oblongata. And then your spinal cord is reflex. Reflex action. There's only one thing. All right, so number 7. So 4 parts that involve of focusing light. There, I said already, the 4 transparent thing lah. Okay, I'm not going to write lah. Your cornea, your aqueous humor, your lens, and your vitreous humor. The 4 transparent thing. Your cornea, gelem air, kanta mata, and gelem maca. 4 things. The 4 transparent thing. So one difference between blind spot and yellow spot. Blind spot is sensitive to light. Okay, blind spot is not sensitive. Okay, in here it's called flicker. Blind spot is the most sensitive spot. Sorry, yellow spot is the most sensitive spot. Blind spot is the least sensitive. It will, in fact, it will not detect anything. All right, so C, complete the diagram to show how light enters the eye and draw the image of the retina. On the retina. Does the eye have any condition? No. Okay, so it will be something like this. And it will like this. Okay, by right should be like this now. Okay, should be sharp focus here. Okay, but since they want the image, I can draw like this. So stage 3 characteristic of the image. Oh, this is in your form 1. Okay, so when you have different image on the other side, it's called real. Nyata. Since it's upside down, it's called inverted. Since it is smaller, this is big. The object is bigger. What you see is smaller, so it's diminished. Okay, so E, what will happen to structure F? Okay, that's F. Okay, so F here, what else? Okay, when someone look at distance object and look at near object. Okay, I think it's the lens. Okay, so what happened to the lens when you look at far object and the near object? First, it will become thin, then it will become thick. Okay, it will relax. Okay, so it will change from thin to thick. Okay, Darini, ketebal. Like I said, when you see something far, it will be thin. When you see something close, it's going to be thick. So situation A and B, state the difference in size of pupil. So size of pupil in A is smaller than B. As you can see, the pupil here is very big. Most likely this person is in a dark room. This person is in a very bright room. Okay, so A is smaller than B. Which light is on, which is under low light condition, that will be B. B is in low light. Why? Because bigger pupil allow more light. Okay, pupil lebih besar membenarkan lebih banyak cahaya memasuki mata. Is membenarkan lebih banyak. Okay, hope you are staying with me. I know it gets very boring, no choice, but we have to rush everything. There's a lot for you to revise for form 3. Okay, this is for exam. So G, explain how the eye controlling the size of pupil can prevent damage to eye under high light intensity. Okay, here's the thing. When there's too much light entering your eye, it can actually hurt your retina. This is why they say do not look at your phone in complete darkness. When you are in your dark room, okay, before you sleep, please don't just, I mean, if you have to look at your screen, I mean, we all do, we are guilty of it. Okay, if you do need to look at check your Instagram one last time, or your Facebook one last time, or your Snapchat, TikTok one last time before you sleep, please do it at the minimum brightness, okay, to reduce the harm. Okay, if your brightness is all the way, I thought you can. It's like you're staring at the sun. How can you not hurt your eye? So explain how eye controls the size of pupil by using the iris. Okay, by using say iris reduce size of pupil. Okay, iris mengurangkan size pupil. Okay, this is to prevent excessive light. Okay, mengelakkan cahaya berlebihan memasuki mata. You want to know what I mean? Go and look at your mom's phone. I don't know what's with everyone's mom. Old people are generally, they just like to crank their phone volume to the highest and brightness to the highest. I don't know, it's a thing. Okay. Okay, you might say why. Probably it's because older people, they have less sensitive eyes and hearing. That's why they need their, volume of their phone to be the highest, and they like to look at something at the highest brightness, okay, and volume. I don't know. It's with everyone's mom. Okay, area of super big. Yeah, exactly. When I look at my mom's phone, when I unlock, wow, it's like staring at the sun. I'm like, how can you read this thing? My mom is like, huh? What's wrong with that? And your mom and their WhatsApp fake news. I don't know about your mom. Okay, my mom loves it. Okay, my mom will say, hey, you look at this news, hey, you see, COVID is in here, there, leh. New, what? Hey, drinking lemon can kill COVID. I'm like, yo, mom, that's fake lah. You see, last time they tell us, hey, don't believe everything you read online. It's fake. Now they are spreading the fake news. Okay, you see, everything they are telling us what not to do, they are doing it right now. Okay, they tell us last time, last time, when I was, okay, I got to the internet pretty early. By 2003, I was on internet already. Okay. By 2005 or 2006, I started buying things online. And then my mom said, hey, don't buy things online. They can cheat you, this, that, lah. And who's the one that is using their credit card like crazy now? It's our mom, right? They buy whatever shit they also buy online. So much for that. Okay, the hypocrisy, I always say. Okay, everything they tell us not to do, they are doing the exact thing as the moment, okay, at the moment we speak. So much for that. Okay, so H, suggest how you can protect your eye and sight. Okay, you can keep a distance, keep a reading distance while reading, of course. Okay, jarak pembacaan. So many things. Okay, do not rub your eye. Wear glasses if you have sight defect. Okay, you have sight defect. Jika terdapat kecacatan penglihatan, okay, you have the same. All of us do. Okay, how do you know you have an Asian mom? She will always compare you with the next door neighbor kid. Why are you not like him? Okay, why are you not better result than him? Okay, even if I got straight A, I also still gonna compare one. Okay, why you don't get straight A? I got straight A. Okay, I got straight A. But you're still not like the next door neighbor kid. Okay, he helped out with the mom. If I help out with with you, then I wouldn't get straight A already. Then she say, I don't care. And see next door neighbor, the kid so quiet, he will help out with the mom. Ask me lah, I can never win lah. Okay, Asian moms always have things to complain. Okay, you can be the best kid in the world, but you're never enough. Okay, who asked you to be Asian? Okay, anyway, any answer that goes here lah, you can eat healthy diet, do not smoke, also helps your eye. Okay, but here's the thing, guys. Even if you don't rub your eye, even if you eat shit tons of carrot, even if you don't, you keep a safe distance while reading, if you have short-sightedness, you still have short-sightedness. Okay, you know why? Because short-sightedness is mainly carried by genetic, nothing to do whether you rub your eyes or not. Okay, so like I said, short-sightedness is because of too thick lens or too long eyeball. Do you think rubbing your eye has something to do with the length of your eyeball? No. Okay, do you think reading at a certain distance will affect the length of the eyeball? No. So it doesn't affect. Okay, so A shows a type of vision defect. Obviously, this is long-sightedness. Okay, long-sightedness. Or if you want to be a bit more, if you have that elitism, long-sightedness is actually called hyperopia. Okay, hyperopia. Okay, short-sightedness is called myopia. Okay, wow, you write this thing. Is it hyperopia, hyper something? Hyperopia, if I'm not mistaken. You're like wow, right? Your friend all write long-sightedness. You write some. This is called Rabun Dekat. Okay, some scientific answer. You don't get it wrong, you try to show off, you get it wrong, I'll laugh at you. Okay, so draw the correction using suitable lens. Okay, so long-sightedness, you should use convex. Okay, so when light enters the eye, they will be focused onto your retina. Okay, so there should be a sharp image here. So what is the method used to correct astigmatism? You use cylindrical lens, okay, Kantar cylinder. So this is a tiger, this is a stereoscopic, okay, stereoscopic vision. Okay, penglihatan stereoscopic. Yes, for stereoscopic. Okay, so who has this? Okay, your eagle. Two advantage, they are accurate with the part, so you can hunt prey easily. Boleh berburu, not the mangsa, berburu mangsa. Okay, you can easily hunt your prey. Okay, so moving on, number 9. So are the lines of the same length? Since they ask it that way, of course lah, yes. So what is this thing called? This is called optical illusion. Okay, illusion optic. It's when what your eye see, your brain process it differently. So there's a conflict between your eyes and your brain, then you will start to see things in a funny way. So you see, like in this case, they are all straight lines, okay? But you don't see that way because of this color pulling tricks on you. They're actually all straight line. So line looks slanted, how does it happen? Okay, so you can say the brain interprets objects seen by the eye inaccurately. Okay, your brain is pulling tricks on itself. Okay, so otak tafsir objek dilihat oleh mata dengan tidak tepat. Okay, same goes to the color. I believe last year I showed you this, right? Wait, last year, yeah, last year I showed you the dress. Okay, there was this white gold dress and the blue black dress. Because everyone perceives color differently. So you might see differently, I might see differently. Okay, so this is Form 1 stuff lah, huh? Your magnifying glass to see tiny object. Okay, telescope is to see very distant object. And then microscope is to examine. Oh wait, it should be small. It should be tiny. Surface of the sea, that's a periscope. Binoculars is to see distant object. Okay, so next, this is your monocular. What is the importance of able to detect enemy or predator from any direction? Dapat memesan musuh atau pemangsa semua arah. Okay, that's why they call it the fish eye view. Okay, because most fishes they are monocular. Okay, so visual field, this is narrow, this is big, this is wide, yes. So you see all carnivores they are like this, all herbivores they are like this. You look at your sheep, chicken, horse, cows, they are all monocular. The eyes are at the side. Number 10, man had to run, try to catch a chicken. Now, see why you cannot catch chicken? Because they can detect you easily. Their eyes are at the side. So say the type of vision. So man is stereo, chicken is mono. So two characteristics of chicken's vision, like I said, They are narrow, sorry, wide, luas, only overlap slightly. Okay, sedikit it's overlap here. I don't know. It overlaps slightly. Okay, so number 3, why is it difficult for the man to chase the chicken? Okay, so chicken has wide field of vision. Okay, medan luas. Okay, so can see man any direction. Dapat melihat lelaki dari semua arah. Keyword is dari semua arah. Okay, so after a few minutes, chicken was caught. How the man's vision helped him catching the chicken? Okay, so the man has stereo vision. Okay, so he has 2 eyes at the front. Okay, able to estimate accurately. Okay, dengan tepat. 2 mata di hadapan dapat menganggarkan jarak dengan tepat. That's why you need stereo to see something accurately. Okay, I mean, if you close your eyes for one day, I'm sure when you want to take things, it gets difficult because you cannot really gauge the distance. Okay, so you know this. Okay, so B, Azim turned to the left when he heard a friend called him. How he determines the direction of the sound. This is called stereophonic hearing. Okay, that's why in the US they call speaker as stereo. They don't say switch on the speaker. Okay, how's your car's speaker? They don't say that. They say how's your stereo? Okay, do you have a stereo at home? They refer to radio or speaker as stereo. Wow, that's a very cool stereo you have. Stereo actually means both sides. Okay, so stereophonic hearing. Okay, so how does he know the friend is on the left? Okay, so he hears sound from left. Is it much stronger than right? Okay, so if his friend is at the left, his left ear should hear something stronger than the right ear. Okay, mendengar suara dari kiri lebih kuat daripada kanan. That's how he knows. Okay, so that's why you use stereos. If you are a very good hunter, you should have stereophonic hearing and stereoscopic eyesight. That makes us very good hunter. That's why humans are the best hunter. That's why we can evolve. That's why we can, become who we are today because of the good hunters. So number 11. So that's a human ear. So name Q. Q is your ossicle. Okay, ossicle. EM is called tulang ossicle. We need to add tulang ossicle. Function. P is to vibrate. Okay, vibrate according to who? According to frequency of sound wave. Okay, but the key point is to vibrate. And then R, the semicircular canal, is to balance the body. Seimbangkan badan. And S, this is to convert vibration or sound to nerve impulse. It menukarkan getaran impulse saraf. Change this. Okay, think of it this way. All receptors' job is to translate. You see, the receptor in your eye will change light signal into nerve impulse signal. The ear is to change sound signal into nerve impulse signal. Nose, your nose and your smell and your case is to change chemical signal into nerve impulse signal. Why? Because nerve impulse, the electric, okay, your brain really works on electric, like legit electric. Electric is the only language your brain understands. If you send an image up there, if you send a sound up there, if you send chemical up there, your brain is going to be like, huh? What does it mean? It doesn't understand. It's like, this is speaking Spanish, this is speaking Korean, this is speaking like whatever language. So now I need to change everything to English because your brain, let's, for example, English is the only language that your brain understands. Okay, so if you give it any other language, your brain will say, okay, I don't understand this. So nerve impulse is the only language that it understands. All right, so it's to convert this thing into nerve impulse, it's like a translation. So number 3, state the type of sense which helps R so that it can function properly. What is the sense? The sense of balance, I think. Oh, help structure R. Okay, what is the sense of help structure R? Okay, I get it now. Okay, sense of sight. Okay, because your sight helps you balance. Okay, Doria. So what range of sound detected by ears? 20 to 20,000. As people get older, hearing gets weaker. Why? Okay, because the eardrum is less elastic. Okay, kurang kenyal. Okay, that's what happens when you are old, everything gets loose. Okay, your skin becomes loose because there's no more collagen. So your eardrum is the same. There's no more collagen, that's why it gets loose. Damaged cochlea causes deafness. How to overcome this problem? Okay, you can use cochlear implant. Basically, you go for surgery, they put an implant inside there. Okay, so next question 13. Okay, I'm not gonna write right now, I'm just gonna give you the answer for now. Okay, I'm just gonna say it out. Okay, you can write it yourself. A1, state 2 structure that are involved in listening mechanism. So not involved, sorry. That will be your semicircular canal and your eustachian tube. Okay, semicircular canal, eustachian tube. Salo-separuh-bulat and your tube Eustachian. Okay, Salo-separuh-bulat, tube Eustachian. Okay, which is the tube and the half circle thing. So next, James is an acrobatic who likes balance on the rope. Explain how the part of the ear help. Is he James or is he Gopinath? What is it, 2 person? Okay, maybe that's his name. Okay, so to be a successful in his performance. Okay, so you can say who helps? That's the semicircular canal. Okay, semicircular canal. You can say helps body balance. Semicircular canal, that's one mark, helps body balance. Okay, bulat. Okay, that's one mark. Membantu keseimbangan badan. Membantu keseimbangan badan. Helps body balance. Okay, next. Number D. Reynolds liked to study while wearing earphone with loud music for a long time. Explain the effect on the Reynolds ear. Okay, so we can say number 1, damaged cochlea. Okay, damaged cochlea, merosakkan cochlea. Okay, damaged cochlea. Number 2, less sensitive hearing. Okay, less sensitive hearing. Pendengaran kurang peka. Pendengaran kurang peka. You can even say deafness. Okay, deafness. Kepekakan. Kepekakan, deafness. You go deaf. I mean, if it's long enough, not to the point you'll get deaf, but your hearing will be less sensitive. Okay, especially if you work in those industry that involves loud sound, like you're a DJ, you are a drummer, okay, you are always exposed to loud sound, your hearing will get weak very quickly. Okay, that means by 20 or 30 years old, your hearing will be 10 years older, like 40 years old. Okay, you have a hearing of a 40-year-old. Okay, no choice because you are constantly exposed to loud sound. Okay, so C, Jeremy studies the diagram of human ear labeled JKLM. So circle one part is involved in hearing. Hearing is your K, okay, or your L. Okay, K or L. J and M, they are not involved, which is the semicircular canal eustachian tube. So number two, explain the effect if K is punctured. If I put a hole in your K, what will happen? So you can say it is unable to vibrate, lor. Unable to vibrate, tidak boleh bergetar. Sound cannot transfer to ossicle. Okay, sound cannot transfer to ossicle. Bunyi tidak boleh dipindahkan ke ossicle, ke tulang ossicle. Okay, bunyi tidak dapat dipindahkan ke tulang ossicle. Sound cannot be transferred to the ossicle. If this punctures are, you can go clinic, they will sew it back for you actually. You need to go for minor surgery. So D, while traveling on a hilly road, Jeremy feels pain in his ear as car move upward. So to overcome this problem, you can either swallow saliva, menelan air liur, or yawn, menguap. Okay, you yawn or you swallow saliva, you're gonna open the eustachian tube. It's gonna regulate the pressure. It's gonna equalize the pressure between outside and your ear, so you don't feel pain. So I explain how the pain occurs. Okay, very good question. You can say atmospheric pressure lower than inner ear. Okay, or you can say you can just start from atmospheric pressure low, tekanan atmosfera rendah. Okay, so inner ear pressure is higher than atmospheric pressure. Inner ear pressure is higher than atmospheric pressure. Tekanan dalam telinga lebih tinggi daripada tekanan atmosfera. Okay, so inner ear pressure higher than outer ear. So you feel this pressing sensation, it makes your head hurt. So when you take plane, it's the same thing. When your plane takes off, you will feel the same thing. Okay, so 13, smells rose in the garden. So A, complete the pathway. So number one, chemical substance in air is inhaled into the nostril. So number two, you can say smell receptor detect smell and generate impulse. Yeah, repeat. Smell detector detects smell and generate impulse. Reseptor bau mengesan bau dan menjanakan impulse. Reseptor bau mengesan bau dan menjanakan impulse. Okay, so impulse is interpreted by the brain. Okay, the second one, impulse is interpreted by the brain. Impulse ditafsirkan oleh otak. Okay, so B, state the location of smell receptor. Okay, it is at the upper of nasal cavity, the top of nasal cavity. Nasal cavity is your nose here. Okay, go up there. Okay, the top of nasal cavity. Okay, bahagian atas rongga hidung. Okay, rongga hidung. So C, upper surface of nasal cavity is covered by mucus. Explain the function of mucus when we smell. Okay, it is for chemical molecules to dissolve in. Okay, for chemical molecules to dissolve in. Supaya molekul kimia melarut di dalamnya. Okay, I repeat, molekul kimia melarut di dalamnya. Okay, and then second point is stimulate your smell receptor. Stimulate smell receptor. Merangsangkan reseptor bau. Merangsangkan reseptor bau. So they will dissolve the mucus and stimulate the receptor. Okay, so D1, Sarah's father is working in a paint factory. As he works, he smells pungent paint. What are the risks faced by the father if he works in a factory for a long time? You can say he might damage his smell receptor. Damage smell receptor, merosakkan reseptor bau. So you need to wear mask. Mask with a filter. Suggest your explanation. How can you protect your sense of smell? Okay, like I said, avoid smelling chemicals. Okay, avoid smelling chemicals. mengelakkan daripada menghidu bahan kimia, mengelakkan daripada menghidu bahan kimia. Okay, because it can damage our smell receptor. Kerana boleh merosakkan reseptor bau. Because it can damage our smell receptor, boleh merosakkan reseptor bau. Sorry for not writing. I'm just trying to go fast here. Okay, so the remaining you can go home and do it yourself. As I said, the answer will be posted in the group, so please kindly check it there. Okay, so I believe that's it. Okay, so thanks for your 3 hours. Okay, it's Sunday, but you still came. Okay, that's good for us, good for you. All right, so I will see you again next week lah, for those who come to my class. Okay, remember next week is gonna be two classes. Make sure you come to both, or you can request for the videos. All right, so thanks for coming. I will see you again next week. All right, so have a good weekend. See you next week, and bye bye.